Elijah Moore, you are a Cleveland Brown. The Browns have traded for the wide receiver. They have been seeking this offseason, and Elijah Moore comes over from the Big Apple. And now we are 8 seconds into the video, so YouTube will allow me to swear without getting mad at me. So Elijah Moore, this is a good trade. I like it. I'm a little skeptical because I saw pick 42 going away, and I always thought that would get Jerry Jeudy. And if we're being honest, I think Jerry Jeudy's better than Elijah Moore. But you know what? I am still excited about this move because the Browns are adding a good wide receiver for cheap in terms of contract-wise, and they're also getting a third-round pick back. So don't look at pick 42 and say the Browns lost a second for Moore. If you kind of balance it out, there's a calculator you can toss it into. Look at it as the Browns traded for Elijah Moore for an early third-round pick. Welcome into a live Cleveland Browns report. Matthew Peterson here. Honestly, tails wagging so hard, kind of forgot where I was and what channel we were on for a moment. But we're going to break down this trade. We're going to get you guys on screen. We're going to have some fun, chop it up, and just talk shop a little bit. Talk ball, because the Browns got Elijah Moore. They have been looking for a wide receiver. When Mecole Hardman signed with initially the Browns, according to Jeremy Fowler, and Jordan Schultz, and then he went to the Jets, my first tweet was, Elijah Moore, you're going to be traded soon. I wonder where it will be, and now we know. Now, we got some super chats flying in. I want to show on screen and give some love to Justin Trimble. Let's start the show off right. Much love, PD. You know what, Justin? For you, a $2 dog bowl is absolutely in order. Thank you so much for supporting the show before we even got started. Elijah Moore, let's go. Welcome to the Browns. Amari Cooper, DPJ, Elijah Moore, Nick Chubb, Deshaun Watson, David Njoku. And I haven't even gotten to the defense yet. This roster is loaded, guys. I've been saying it for a while. If this roster was on the Dallas Cowboys, the national media would have way different coverage on it. But because it's the lonely Browns, no one really pays attention. Well, they will in 2023. Cheers to you, Justin. All right, Joshua Miller with a $2 super chat. Moore is our second-round pick. Slick move, AB. He was originally a second-round pick, and you're getting a third back. So I don't think the Browns got burned on this trade. Like initial reaction when I got the Twitter notification, Elijah Moore to Cleveland for pick 42, I was a little like, whoa. And then I misread it, and I thought it was for pick 42 and a third-rounder. But then once I saw that the third-rounder was going back to Cleveland, I was like, okay, you're just moving back 30 spots in the draft for Elijah Moore. So ask yourself this question. Would you rather have Elijah Moore or pick 30 spots earlier in day 2 of the draft? If the answer is Elijah Moore, then you like this trade, right? If you'd rather pick 30 spots earlier in day 2, then Elijah Moore is not for you. I think he's worth a 30-pick drop because the NFL draft is what I always say, guys. You know it. 1, 2, 3. A lottery, right? It's a crapshoot. You're just buying lottery tickets that have better chances than the Mega Millions, but they're not great chances. Now, we're going to throw the trade on screen in just a second so you guys can get the details of it. We got another super chat coming in here from Cheflon15. I feel like we still need another wide receiver. I don't think so. You could draft another wide receiver if you'd like. But Amari Cooper, Donovan Peoples-Jones, and Elijah Moore and David Bell as your top 4 guys, that's a very good room. Plus, next year you're probably going to be looking to extend DPJ, or really this year. And Elijah Moore has 2 years left on his rookie contract. Amari Cooper's got 1 more after this season. So I think they're probably comfortable with the wide receiver room for 2023. And then they like the idea probably of having DPJ, Moore, and then a future player be the core of this unit once Amari Cooper moves on. So let's throw the trade on screen. Oh, we want to do the like thing first? Okay, yeah. So producer Nick Roloff. I kind of butchered your last name. Sorry, Rolly. Producer Nick Roloff. He's all about the likes. He's a bit horny for likes on YouTube. So we're trying to get 50% like average for everyone watching right now. We got 56 likes. Our goal is 250. If you like the video, YouTube's going to push this video to more people. and then we're going to get a bigger audience, and the channel's going to get to grow, and then I get a raise. So basically, if you like the video, you're going to help support my Raise Foundation. So hit that thumbs up button if you have not already. I see more super chats flying in. We'll throw those on screen in just a minute. But here are the trade details. The Browns get Elijah Moore and a third-round pick. The Jets get Cleveland's 42nd overall pick. Now, this goes without saying, but everyone, pour one out for Jerry Jeudy coming to the Browns because it was a good ride, but it's over now, and that's fine. I like Elijah Moore. I've stated on videos for the last 10 days or so of, I think Elijah Moore is a sneaky good trade option. He's not going to cost you as much as Jerry Jeudy, right? Now you get Elijah Moore, and you get to keep Greg Newsome. Not a bad deal right there, if you ask me, right? You don't have to pay a huge salary to DeAndre Hopkins or Brandon Cooks, who are both on the wrong side of 30. Yeah, those guys are more exciting and better, no doubt about it. But Elijah Moore's 22 years old. He's 3 years younger than me. Like, that's pretty crazy to think about. He's 22. And if he continues to play at a really high level like he did his rookie year before he more or less got shadow banned by an offensive coordinator who was fired a few months later, yeah, I think he's going to be a pretty good addition for this team. You go from pick 42 to 74, so you move back 32 spots in the draft for Elijah Moore. I think that's honestly worth it. I do, right? I mean, I did not think he would cost you your second-round pick. I thought he was more of a fourth-round pick guy, but I was just way off. I mean, we're talking about a former second-round pick. So at the end, I still like this move for the Browns. I think they got a lot better in the wide receiver position. They got young, and they got cheap. They haven't done that a lot recently, young and cheap, right? They've gone expensive or a bit older. Now they get to reset the clock a little bit and try and keep time on their side. And instead of chasing a Super Bowl just for the next season or two, Elijah Moore can be a piece that you have for the next 5, 6, 7 years maybe, right? That's going to be a great relationship with DPJ and Deshaun Watson for years to come. Now, whenever we have breaking news, we go live here on the channel. So if you have not subscribed yet, please go ahead and do so. I want to reach 18,000 subscribers. We're 212 away. Can we get there from today's live show? That would be awesome. That would definitely put a smile on my face when we sign off. So help me grow this channel, and we'll get you guys some free Browns content in return or your money back. Jonathan Mann with a $2 super chat. Offseason needs addressed. New draft ideas. I got 3 words for you, Jonathan. You ready? Get a pen and paper out so you don't want to miss this. Best player available. Those are your draft needs. If you're the Browns, you look at your roster, you look for spots where you have positions of guys who are in the last year of their contract, so you can draft their replacement now and not next year and toss a rookie into a starting role when they might not be ready. So linebacker is a huge one. You got a bunch of guys on the last year or just 1-year deals. You could still use some more help on the defensive line probably, but maybe offensive tackle, get a new swing tackle if you want to replace Jack Conklin in a year or two, or maybe even have to replace Jed Wills. But across the board, we are starting the campaign right now. Best player available. Best player available. That is the draft strategy. That is the draft plan. Whoever you think it is, I don't care what position it is, get the best talent you can find to Cleveland, and we'll find a role for them when the time comes. Pedro Valley with a $5 super. As a Browns fan, I'm not happy with this move. All right, Pedro and I already off to a bad start. Elijah Moore is a diva wide receiver who hasn't proven anything on the Jets. We lost this trade hands down. I'm going to disagree with that, Pedro. Could we throw Elijah Moore's two-player stat comp up, actually, producer Nick? So let's look at Elijah Moore's stats really quickly. Let's see what he's done through 2 seasons so far. In 11 games, his rookie year, he scored 5 touchdowns. The next year, when he was relegated for not a really good reason, in my opinion, his receptions dropped, yards dropped, all that dropped, and he played in more games the second season. So I do like this move. If you can find a guy who in his first year had 5 touchdowns and 538 yards playing for the New York Jets with Zach Wilson as a rookie quarterback, yeah, I think with Deshaun Watson, he can turn 5 touchdowns and 538 yards to something to the tune of 800 yards and 7 touchdowns as a wide receiver 3, if DPJ's number 2, that's really good numbers right there, right? Sure, you gave up a second rounder, but you got a third round pick back. And Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski know it's go time, right? Their ass is on the line here. They can't have a third straight losing season. So they're getting aggressive. And I'd rather have an owner, a GM, and a head coach who are more aggressive than guys who just stand on the sidelines and say, we like our own players. We're going to build through the draft. Cool. How's that worked out for the Browns before building through the draft? Not really well. So I like this move. Pedro, I do appreciate the super chat. Hope you don't mind me disagreeing. Now here's our super chat menu for today. Any amount at all, we give you a shout out. $2, give me your take. We'll throw it on screen. $5, I owed Pedro a dog bowl. Is it lagging for you guys right now, or is it just lagging in this room here? Okay, it's not lagging for you guys back home, is it? $20, some fireball shots, and $50, it's a Browns player comp. Okay, I trust Cool Guy Cold Zone. Our monitor in here has me looking like Call of Duty 2011. Your LAN is awful and everyone's getting mad at you in the group.
Oh, it looks horrible.
I look like a Minecraft character right now.
not that far.
It's not far. It's not far. We got some more super chats. Oh, we got some first super chats coming in. There we go. YouTube added a cool new feature where it tells us if it's your first super chat. I know this is not Dr. Crew's first super chat, though. Dr. Crew, thank you so much for supporting the show always and forever. I want to know, though, grade the trade. How do we feel about it? A, B, C, D, or F? Let me know in the comment section what your grade for this trade is. I'm going to give it a B. I don't think I can give it an absolute A because I'm still waiting to see Elijah Moore really turn into a player worthy of a early third-round pick, right? I don't think those first 2 years necessarily say that with absolute fact, but I am also buying in on this thing called players get better after the first 2 seasons at times. So I am in belief with Deshaun Watson, Kevin Stefanski, he's going to thrive in this offense. I'm very excited for it. Plus, I don't know, we get revenge for the Jets game from last year, right? This is a way of, sticking it back to New York because we go back in time like 2 hours ago. When they signed Mecole Hardman, I was in a deep state depression for about 35 minutes. I'm not going to exaggerate. So it was tough, but this Elijah Moore trade, lifted me right back up. We got over 750 people watching. Like today's video if you haven't already. If you're excited about the Elijah Moore trade, hit that thumbs up button so YouTube pushes this video to more Browns fans out there. So what grades are we giving it? I'm going to start giving some shout-outs to everyone that chimes in the chat right now. Josh was giving an A-. Here we go. Cool Guy Called Zone. That would be crazy. Giving it an A-. Michael says B. Landon says A. Greg says A. Cool Guy A-. Ryan with a B+. Kamikaze with an A. I got B's and A's. I'm not seeing any C's. Ray with a B+. Kelly says a solid A. I got 1 B- from top. Young Sky with a B+. Justin with a B. Jersey Dog A-. Dr. Crew with a B. Matthew with an A. AFX Apocalypse B+. Joe with an A. This is speed, right? I think Mark just said it best. A for speed. What did the Browns offense need? Speed. Nick Chubb is not necessarily the fastest running back in the NFL in terms of, complete 40-yard dash speed. Amari Cooper's a precise route runner, but he's not known for his blazing 40. Same for Donovan Peoples-Jones. So what do you give Elijah Moore? A guy who finished towards the top of his NFL draft class for 40-yard dashes. This is a speed move for the Browns. And if you learn one thing from this video today, the Browns did not trade a second-round pick for Elijah Moore because they got a third-round back. So take that with you when you have to argue with your friends. The NFL trade calculator spits it out as Elijah Moore for a early third-round pick. Early third-round pick, yeah, maybe that's a bit more expensive than I thought he would be, but it's a lot better than a second-round pick. We got a super chat coming in from Chef Ruben. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof. Elijah Moore to the Browns. Let's go, Chef Ruben. Cheers to you. Brown Tiger with a super chat. I don't know how I feel about this right now. I know you wanted DeAndre Hopkins. This kills any idea of the Browns trading for really anyone else probably, unless it's a very like Mac Wilson type trade. Yeah, Hopkins would have been fun, no doubt about it. But Hopkins is 30. He cost $19 million this season. The money's not a deal breaker. You can always make it work. But Elijah Moore's on a cheap rookie contract for 2 more seasons, and he's 22. That is something to be excited about for the future of, you know what? You can't just keep buying expensive players and building a roster that way. It might work, and you might be the Rams, and you might win a Super Bowl. But if you don't win that game and the Bengals do, look where the Rams are now. So I like the Browns kind of spreading their chips around, like getting some expensive players, getting some veterans, but also making a move for a 22-year-old receiver who you could ideally have, if all goes well, for the next couple of seasons. Young Sky with a super. What this mean for Anthony Schwartz? I hope he rented and did not buy. That's what it means for Anthony Schwartz. Let's throw the wide receiver depth chart up there, Rolly. Oh, he's already on it. This guy's the best in the biz right here. Elijah Moore slots in at the slot position, I think. If we're going to take 5 receivers on the roster next year, we'll make it 6. I think it's Amari Cooper. It's all 4 faces there. I don't know about Jakeem Grant coming off an Achilles injury. I think Michael Woods is probably going to make it. And then it's going to be a battle between Schwartz and everyone else, and probably a rookie they draft. I'm guessing with one of their 8 picks, they will pick a receiver. So Anthony Schwartz is definitely a cut candidate, a bubble guy for this roster. Elijah Moore, Cooper, DPJ, Bell are all locks. That's 4 out of 6 spots right there. That leaves Schwartz, Woods, Grant, and I'll call a rookie or maybe even like a Marquise Goodwin if they make a low-level free agent signing. 4 guys to battle for 2 spots max. So he's going to be going to camp with a lot to prove. What's your one-word reaction to the Elijah Moore trade? Light up the comment section right now. Then we're going to get into the cut and really start breaking this news down. But let me know what your one-word reaction is. I'll give my one-word reaction. Then I want to hear from producer Rolly, his one word, from like a non-Browns bias. You know what I mean? My one word, I'm going to steal Mark Stevenson's. Speed. Elijah Moore is a fast cat. He is a quick burner, to say the least. I'm going with speed. I'm sorry, Mark. You didn't copyright it quick enough, so I'm stealing your one word. But I like speed for Elijah Moore. Rolly will throw him on screen in just a moment, but I'll give some shout-outs in the meantime here. Hype, I like it. Decent, nice, speedy. Backup plan, that's one long word from Joshua Miller. Grant is staying because we restructured his contract. Potentially, yeah, I didn't even see that. Slay, proactive, smart. I like smart. David Smart, there you go. Vroom from GB. Happy. Good to see William Schur in the chat. Sal, goodbye to Anthony Schwartz. Indeed. Venom, fast, sweet. Yeah, getting some good one-word reactions here. One more time, if you're just tuning in right now, the Browns traded their 42nd overall pick in the draft for Elijah Moore and pick 74. Remember, the first round of the NFL draft has 31 picks. The second round has 32. So after rounds 1 and 2, we're at pick 63. So 74 is early in round 3. So give you an idea, that would be like picking, I think, the 12th, if I'm doing the math correctly, 13th overall selection in round number 3. Live stream just not cooperating? Okay. If we can't get you on, no worries. We get the super chat from Sal, I think I saw fly on screen. Joe Graham with a super chat. Bronny D is here. Let's go. All right, we'll catch up on all the super chats real quick, and then we'll start really breaking down this trade, looking at the details, all that good stuff. Scarehouse Tim Zombie, he is always commenting on videos. Welcome to the Dog Pound, Moore. Go Browns. You know what? Let's do a dog bowl right now for Elijah Moore, right? For welcoming him to Cleveland. Welcome to the lake. Welcome to the land. Let's go. Ray bidding with a $5 super. When Mecole Hardman went to the Jets, did you think it was imminent that Andrew Berry would close the deal for Moore? You can go check my Twitter. I think I tweeted probably like 5 minutes after that. Elijah Moore is available for trade. I felt like, one, I never actually knew for sure that they were in on Mecole Hardman, right? I think we all just sort of talked it into existence. I don't know how serious Andrew Berry was on ever signing Mecole Hardman. I thought a trade would be coming either really soon or during the draft. I thought if we got to April and no trade happened, it might be an A.J. Brown, Marquise Brown type of trade. So I'm not shocked at all that Mecole Hardman's off the market. The Browns moved on to their next plan because it sounds like, I mean, at least Jeremy Fowler tweeted out, add some speed to Cleveland's offense. So I don't know why he got that wrong, unless it was between the Browns and the Jets. Ray, thank you for the super chat. We got some more to catch up on here. We'll throw them on screen for you guys. Let's get some shout-outs. Okay, Greg, here we go. Long time no see. Greg, I know I feel like I haven't seen you since probably our Week 18 watch party, which, by the way, who's gotten better this offseason? Show of hands. The Browns or the Steelers? I think it's the Cleveland Browns. They added Elijah Moore. Can we just talk about the starters the Browns have added for a moment? They got Juan Thornhill for cheap. Dalvin Tomlinson to actually stop the run. Elijah Moore for speed in the wide receiver room. What have the Steelers done? Lost Cam Sutton, a player they're crying about still? Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. Matthew Culpa, I hope I pronounced that correctly, and I believe your first super chat ever, so cheers to you. Let's fucking go Super Bowl. Let's go Browns. Let's go Browns. Yes. Super Bowl bound. Hope you guys don't have planned for the second Sunday in February next year. Dog Bowl for the $5 super and Elijah Moore coming to the Brownies. Dalton Cochran, what's up? I'm at work, so I can't watch, but here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof. Dalton, cheers to you. That's another Dog Bowl. I might have to delay these Dog Bowls till after the cut. Chef Lon 15 coming back at it. Would you still get OBJ if affordable? Chef Lon, you read my mind. Producer Rolly, you know what I'm going to ask for? He's on it already. Wait till you see this. We were going to talk about this later on once we kind of let all the Elijah Moore stuff die down for a second. But I saw this on the internet. Instagram. Some comments going back and forth. Miles, get OBJ's ass back here immediately, brother. And Myles Garrett responds with, I'm working on it. Could you imagine OBJ back to the Browns?
Electric Factory.
That you couldn't write a script better than that. Literally, it would be right there with Trout and Ohtani yesterday. OBJ going back to the Browns.
Hey, never say never,
Never
right?
say never. With Baker gone, Big Bad Baker in OBJ's eyes, yeah, he might want to team up with Deshaun Watson. I believe he sold his house in Cleveland. If he didn't sell, though, you just make the pitch of logistics. Like, moving sucks, OBJ. You got a spot here. Go back and move there. Jarrett Roush with a $5 super. I'm going to catch up on all the Dog Bowls after we get the cutout. That way I'm coherent and fit for my job. You see the retweet from Obo Okorano. Did I get that right? I don't think I did. Buckner talking about being teamed up with Myles Garrett. Man, I wish. Also, thoughts on David Bell. I'm going to say this now. I believe Elijah Moore trade, losing pick 42, might kill any more trades from happening. They got some third rounders, so they could still make some moves, but I don't see DeForest Buckner coming over after this trade right here. But, Jarrett, I do appreciate the super chat, and hey, I'm sure Obo would love to team up with Buckner and Garrett. Let those two guys draw a lot of attention, and he gets some one-on-one opportunities. Not too bad. Justin Trimble, our first super chatter, and now our most recent one. Do you think Cam Newton is better than Baker? Right now, no. Cam can't throw a football. I watched what was a very difficult to watch pro day from Auburn. No, I would actually take Baker over Cam Newton at this present moment. Sal with a $10 super chat. Appreciate you breaking this news live. And the street scene video on Saturday was classic. Cheers. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof. I'm not going to lie. I'm having a nice week. My March Madness team is still alive. Rolly gave me some good bets after a disastrous start, telling me West Virginia money line was a lock. Don't unmute yourself. You're in timeout for at least 30 seconds until you come back with a Sweet 16
I want to defend
lock.
myself. I have been a hater of the Big 12 all year long. I've been told by people within our offices that it's the best conference to ever exist in college basketball. So what did I do, even though I didn't think it was the best? Well, I thought it was the best. It was not as good as they thought it was. I was like, all right, I'll take their opinions and take West Virginia. No, should have stuck my guns.
Yeah.
Big 12 blows.
But hey, Jordan Akins, that's a fun signing, right? That's a good red zone target. Someone Watson has some familiarity with. Put up 495 yards and a couple scores last year. Yeah, I'm not going to be too upset about that, but Harrison Bryant, I do worry. Joshua Miller with a $2 super. With an opening at running back, is Hunt returning possible? Maybe. I think it would have to come down to having the Browns be interested, right? Would the Browns be interested in giving him snaps, right? Vet minimum, that's not going to really cost him all that much. Maybe an extra $1.5 million, $2 million from a UDFA running back or a rookie. But do they want the snaps going to Kareem Hunt if they don't think he's a long-term piece? Or they rather give those snaps to Jerome Ford and another player? I think that's what it'll come down to. Kareem Hunt last year, there were times where I'm like, just get him off the field. Whether it's his fault or the offensive line, every time he takes a handoff from shotgun, it's going to be a 2-yard loss. Going to the left side every single time, guaranteed. So it's possible. I don't think it's likely, though. Jonathan Mann, what's up? D-Hop busted for PEDS. PRB, what does that mean? Probably to go back playing washed. Okay. I didn't realize that him getting busted for using PEDs wiped away his no trade clause. I learned that like 2 weeks ago. So that was kind of an interesting factoid I picked up. But yeah, no more DeAndre Hopkins, Jerry Jeudy trade rumors. If you like those videos, I'm sorry. If you didn't like those videos, you're going to love the content over the next week or so. All right, let's run through the rest of the Super Chats and then really start breaking down the trade in itself. Joe Graham basketball, we absolutely needed this speed. It was hard to watch how slow we were last year. Also, thanks for streaming right after the news. That's the Browns Report difference, baby. Right, the Donnie difference, fresh cakes. That's the Browns Report difference. And then Bronny D. Oh, that's Joe Graham's first super? Joe Graham, welcome aboard, man. Good to have you here. Thank you so much for super chatting. Bronny D, what's up? Let's go, baby. Let's go, Bronny D. Let's have ourselves a Wednesday afternoon. What do you say? Let's celebrate the Elijah Moore trade in style. Chef Ruben, next up. Do you think the Browns will load up on defense in the upcoming draft? I surely hope so. Thoughts on OBJ? Let's go, Browns. I'll say it again. You go best player available, no matter the position. Maybe outside of quarterback. Right? If there's a freak running back, I'm not even opposed to that because Nick Chubb's not going to be around forever. Thoughts on OBJ? I really don't think he returns. However, the Jets signing Mecole Hardman might kill OBJ going to that New York team, maybe the other New York team. So maybe his market starts to dry up and a team can get him for cheaper than what they thought and a new, suitor emerges. Go Browns, though. MJ McNabb, your first super chat. Let's go, MJ McNabb. Shout out to you for supporting the show for the first time. Thank you so much, brother. Go Browns. Brown Tiger. Do you feel Moore has ability to take the top off the defense? Yeah, I'm going to look it up right now. Elijah Moore was drafted in 2021. 2021 NFL Combine results. I think you guys are going to be surprised. Again, I've never been a big fan of just going off the Combine as the only way to measure players. But the dude's fast. The dude has speed, okay? You want to know who's number one, by the way, in the Combine for the 40-yard dash? Anthony Schwartz. So it goes to show it's not just 40-yard dashes. But Elijah Moore, he ran a 4.35. That's fast. And that's not just like track star. I don't know how to run with the football fast, but that is speed and football skills. So I like this move a lot. He can definitely force his safety to take a step back every single time he lines up. Joshua Miller, here we go, Super Bowl. Here we go. Woof, woof. Love it, Josh. Love it. Jonathan Mann with another one. Here we go. Let's run through these bad boys. Playoffs, here we come, baby. It has to be a 10-win season minimum. Am I wrong? It has to be a 10-win season minimum, I believe now. Actually, not even just now. It was always 10 wins. Maybe this trade bumps it up to 11, if we're being honest with you guys. So, yep, this has to be a double-digit win season. And I'm not going to say they have to win the division because the Bengals have won it twice in a row, so it may not be easy to dethrone them immediately, but I think this absolutely is a boomer bust 10-plus win season in 2023. We got some more Super Chats coming in. We're going to get to those in just a brief moment. I do want to break down this trade, though, go through the details, kind of give my takeaways, my reaction, analysis, all that good stuff. Catch my breath for a second, Rolly, because I'm pretty worked up right now with Elijah Moore being a Cleveland Brown. If you're feeling the same way of like, I know it's March, you don't win Super Bowls in March, but man, it feels like they won the first half of free agency. The second half is the draft. And if they get some dudes, if they get some dogs, we'll be barking. All right, are we ready, Rolly? Let's get ourselves in the mindset. Let's talk the Elijah Moore trade. Elijah Moore, you are a Cleveland Brown. The Browns have made a splash move trading for Jets wide receiver Elijah Moore. We're going to break down that trade. We're going to get through the details and all that good stuff on today's Browns Report. Matthew Peterson here live at the moment, going through the trade, live reactions, takeaways, all that good stuff. So let's get right into it. The trade details in and of itself, the Browns get Elijah Moore and the Jets' 74th overall pick in the draft. That's an early third-round pick, kind of a mid to early. The Jets get Cleveland's 42nd overall pick. Now, hand up, when I got the notification that the Browns got Elijah Moore, it was like a little bit of a roller coaster. Yes, let's go. Let's go. But when I saw it costing the 42nd, went downhill a little bit. But then when I saw they got the 74th pick back, we went back up. Basically, if you toss this into a trade calculator, you got Elijah Moore for an early third-round pick. That's how you should look at it. Don't look at this as the Browns got Elijah Moore for a second. Getting a third back sort of waters down that second-round pick. You can basically look at it this way. Would you rather have Elijah Moore or pick 30 spots earlier in day 2 of the draft? I'd rather go with Elijah Moore because I know the draft is not a guarantee. You want to know who the third-round pick was, a wide receiver? Anthony Schwartz. Elijah Moore, and we'll look at some stats in just a second, is a lot better than Anthony Schwartz. Now, initially, I thought that Moore would be a bit cheaper than a second-round pick. So if you're sort of on the fence right now, I feel you. Because when I did mock trades for Elijah Moore, I thought it'd be more like a fourth. But, you know, if the market was that was the market. I don't think this is a dramatic overpay, though. I would have been a little less excited if it was more for the 42nd overall pick. But getting that third back, I think, is a sneaky good pickup. And we'll look at the updated draft picks for the Browns in just a quick second. But when big news breaks, we go live here at the Browns Report. We don't sleep on anything. So help us grow to 18,000 subscribers. If you haven't subbed yet, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that sub button. That way we can get you guys more Browns content, because at Chat Sports, the more subs, the more studio space, the more videos. It's a nice circle of life here. So if you're looking for a free Browns YouTube channel, this is the home for you. Now, Elijah Moore's stats. Let's look at it from his rookie season to his sophomore season. So in year 1, the guy only played 11 games. Former second-round pick out of Ole Miss. In 11 games with Zach Wilson, 538 yards and 5 touchdowns. Not too shabby. Now, then a guy named Mike LaFleur rolled around, the offensive coordinator for the Jets. And he shadow banned Elijah Moore. Didn't incorporate him into the offense. Remember, Elijah Moore wanted a trade midseason. Didn't feel like he wanted a trade because he was a cancer in the locker room or anything like that. He just felt that he knows that the first 4 years are so important for a player to show their worth so they can get the bag in free agency the first time that rolls around. That wasn't happening with the Jets. Now he gets a great opportunity to do that with the Browns. Now, the updated 2023 draft picks. Here's where it stands currently. The Browns, we're going to be sort of just twiddling with our thumbs for the first 73 picks of the draft, and they might even move back again like they did last year with Martin Emerson. But they still have 8 picks in this upcoming draft. They don't have a glaring need anymore, which is why I'm going to start the campaign. 3 words: best player available. That should be the Browns' strategy. Look for spots maybe at positions where players are on the last year of their contract or have 1 year left or could be a cut candidate the next year. Linebacker comes to mind. Defensive line, right? Jordan Elliott's going to be gone. Tommy Togiai should be gone. So those are some spots that jump out. But blanket statement, take the best player on the board. Now, I want to hear from everyone watching right now because I'm very curious what the pulse of the dog pound is at the moment. Grade the trade. Big time to get the red pen out. A, B, C, D, or F. I initially graded it as a B, but since I started this video, I'm going to upgrade it. I'm going to make it a B+. I just think Elijah Moore has that much potential. 538 yards and 5 touchdowns in a horrible Jets offense where nothing grows, and the last good receiver they had there was Brandon Marshall at the very end of his career. Him, Deshaun Watson, that's going to be a very fun duo. Mix in Amari Cooper and Donovan Peoples-Jones. Yeah, I'm very excited for this. Elijah Moore also adds something the Browns roster desperately needed. Speed, right? Let's throw the depth chart up there for you guys to see. What does it mean exactly when people say speed, right? I think it's kind of a generic term people just toss around, right? Why doesn't every team just have a bunch of fast dudes? Here's what speed really brings to this Browns offense. When Deshaun Watson, who loves to extend plays, is scrambling, who's going to work themselves back to the quarterback quicker? Amari Cooper or Elijah Moore? Elijah Moore. Cooper's great at running routes, and he wins a lot of them. But there's some good DBs out there that get their fair share of wins. So when Cooper's route doesn't result in him being open or the ball being thrown, he's not necessarily the best at coming back to the quarterback because he doesn't have that top speed. Elijah Moore, he can filibuster. He can turn the burners on. He can stretch the defense. He can add new things and new wrinkles to the game plan because teams know we can't just sort of stuff the box or play these low zone coverages. We've got to respect the speed threats that Elijah Moore brings. In fact, if you look at it by the numbers, Moore in the slot, his first year, just 28% of the snaps on offense. In year 2, that jumped to nearly 50%. I think we're going to see that number go up even more in year 3 with the Browns, with Cooper and DPJ on the outside, Moore in the slot, Watson in shotgun, Chubb in the backfield, RPOs galore. Good luck. You're screwed. Like, I hate to really just be an absolute sheep and get super drunk on the Browns roster, but how can you not? This roster is loaded. Deshaun Watson, Nick Chubb, Amari Cooper, Myles Garrett, and I've still got more fingers to count. This is a very good team. And with that, Kevin Stefanski, I know you're watching. You can't screw this up. You've got all the pieces, all the tools, all the keys to the kingdom. Put it together for Browns fans once and for all. And with that, we will transition to everyone pouring one out to the Jerry Jeudy trade rumors. And I'll also sort of mix in DeForest Buckner trade rumors. I think the Browns are probably not going to do much. Maybe another signing, a low-level one until the draft. Andrew Berry's a surprising dude. He made 2 blockbuster trades last year for Cooper and Watson, so don't rule it out. But I think for sure Jerry Jeudy and other wide receivers. Maybe there's one more trade like a Mack Wilson caliber move, but hey, ultimately it sounds like Cleveland wanted Mecole Hardman potentially. He went to the Jets. Andrew Berry got on the phone and said, now I really know you need to trade Elijah Moore. Denver's asking price is too high. I'd rather have Elijah Moore and gain an extra 3rd-round pick than give up Greg Newsome in a second just for one player, right? You can look at it that way. What would you rather have? Elijah Moore and you fall back 30 spots in the draft? Or Jerry Jeudy at the price of Greg Newsome and you just lose your 2nd-round pick altogether? Judy's probably going to be a better receiver next year, but Elijah Moore, I think, is just as good. Well, just right there with him right now. Might not be just as good, but to keep Greg Newsome and to hold on to a day 2 draft pick, yeah, that's something I'm definitely excited about. Appreciate everyone for tuning into today's reaction and analysis from the Elijah Moore trade. I kindly remind you to hit that sub button if you have not already. Like I said, I want to get to 18,000 subscribers, help a fellow Dog Pound member out. Hit that sub button if you have not already. And Elijah Moore, you are a Cleveland Brown. Scarehouse Tim Zombie, best damn Browns channel on YouTube, F Pitt. Couldn't agree more, F Pitt indeed. Cheers to you, my friend. Let's go. Browns, baby. Yes. Producer Rolly's a Patriots fan. His team's looking for a receiver. I wonder if Belichick's just going to stand around and wait for Zay Flowers. Not a bad option.
I don't know if you know this, PD, but DeAndre Hopkins, you are a New England Patriot.
Yeah, I can see that. We got some more Super Chats to catch up on, and then we're just going to kind of just break down this trade. So, hey, if you've got a take and you want all 676 people watching to see right now, Super Chat your way on screen, and then we'll start filtering down from there. Scott Wood, good to see you from north of the border. Petey, thank you. Elijah Moore, baby. Let's go, Browns. Let's go, Browns. Joshua Miller, 2/3, 2/4, and 2/5, correct? Rolly, I don't even have to ask. He's on it already. Here are the draft picks, I believe. I'm pretty confident, but it's a little, pardon my French, fucky right now with all the moves. 2/3, 2/4, 2/5. Where do those like threesomes come from? They got a 3rd-round pick from the Jets right there, okay? They got a 4th-round pick and from the Kwesi Adolph hire. No, for the Vikings trade last year during the draft. And then the 5th-round pick comes from the Troy Hill trade. So Kwesi Adolph-Mensah, that's pick 98, being hired by the Vikings. Pick 74 is from the Jets. 111 or 126, 111 is their own. 126 is from the Vikings in a draft trade last year. 142 is from the Rams. 144 is their own. I think I got that right. But those are all 8 picks for the Browns in this upcoming draft. The Cleveland M. Turner family. What's up, guys? Let's freaking go, PD. Great trade indeed. Great trade. I like this trade. I think I'm probably going to work myself up to saying great trade by the time I go to bed tonight. Takes me a couple hours to just sort of buy in and sink my teeth on this. But right now, it's in the really good category. Here was my flow chart. Ready? Saw the tweet. That's a trade. 2 seconds later, that's a good trade. An hour later, that's a really good trade. Probably in an hour, that's a great trade. Probably by the end of the night, the Browns have the best receiving core in the NFL.
Yeah.
I'm not far from
11:59 p.m. going to 12 a.m. The Browns might have just got the next Jerry Rice.
Yes. I mean, I'm not going to actually say it, but I will. Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, watch out. So that was a bad take. That was a bad take. Michael Higdon, what's up? I love this trade. I still feel like we need to get a few rotational players. Should be able to get that in the draft. I love the show. Yeah, we as fans sometimes forget this thing called the draft exists. And I think we're forgetting it because, to be fair, the Browns don't have a first-round pick. So there's not this, surefire hit the Browns can make that would be an impact player. But they can still fill out the rest of their roster through the draft. They still got some good picks. They've still got, 2 top 100 picks right there in the 3rd round. Martin Emerson was a 3rd-round pick last year, ladies and gentlemen. It's not always, guaranteed, but you can still find some good pieces, and that's perfectly fine to not have to complete your roster through free agency or trades. It's an expensive way to get it done. You have to make some good draft picks here and there to have good players for 4 years, maybe even 5 on a rookie deal. So the draft, see you next. Lee County Scratcher. Either we do really good or they fire Stefanski mid-season. I kind of thought when they hired Jim Schwartz, was a deep level reasoning of if we do fire Stefanski, he could be a great interim head coach. Probably not. But like I said in the video, Stefanski, you have to nail this. I mean, in a way, pressure's not. Okay, Rolly, come back on screen for a moment because I want to get your NFL opinion on this too. Does any coach have more pressure on them than Kevin Stefanski right now? Right? For the expectations and their roster talent, I don't think a coach has more pressure on them to deliver a 10-win season, which is not easy to do unless Patrick Mahomes is your quarterback.
Listen, I think we talked about it when we were on live last Thursday or Wednesday or whatever it was, that the Browns minimally, or at the bare minimum, should make the playoffs. And I think this move further cements that, because you got the Ravens and the disaster that they are currently.
Yeah, they don't have a quarterback.
Yeah, the Steelers, they stink, and so does Kenny Pickett. Obviously, the Bengals, who Petey has pointed out before, you guys have their number.
This is true.
That's true.
We are their daddy.
So I think you should at least be 10-7 next year, assuming Deshaun Watson in year 2 has a better year with the program. If he stinks, if the Browns stink, Stefanski's probably going to go.
He's definitely gone. 10-7, just saying it out loud, though, sounds too low for how talented this roster is. All right? Again, I've made this analogy before. If Deshaun Watson, Nick Chubb, Myles Garrett, and Amari Cooper are on the Dallas Cowboys, are people calling that a 10-7 team?
No.
They're not.
It is.
You're
right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, they're calling that a 13-win team.
Do they? My question is, the schedule's not out, but they know who they're playing.
Yes, they finished. It is beautiful.
Oh, so we're
Chef's
thinking
kiss.
11-6 is minimum.
I'm going to read it right now. You give some shout-outs in the meantime, please.
All right. People in the chat, Russell Wagner, Evan Shank, Brody and Shoot, fire Stefanski. So he likes the idea of potentially getting rid of Stefanski. Adam Mays, Mac Predalis.
Yeah. Here, let's throw the trade graphic on, because Nick just asked what was the trade. I've got the schedule for next season, as we're already looking ahead, because why not? Ignore the Ignore the AFC North games. They're NFC opponents. That's the word I was looking for there. They've got the NFC West. So here we go. Ready? We will start with they got the Jags at home. Winnable game. Winnable. That's all I'm saying. The Titans at home. That's a win.
That's a win.
Right? We're gonna count for sure wins, because this always works out great too. Okay? Cardinals at home. Win. 49ers at home. I won't say win for sure.
Yeah, I put that in the categories of the Jaguars.
Right, exactly. At the Texans.
Win.
At the Colts.
Win.
At the Rams.
Win.
At the Seahawks.
I put that in that category.
Okay. Home against the Jets.
If they got Rodgers, it'll be close.
Okay. Home against the Bears.
Win.
At Denver.
Win.
7 wins, and we haven't even gone through the division yet. If you go 500 in the division, that sounds like a floor of 10-7.
It sounded like you guys had a lot of home games for some reason.
Oh, we scheduled that way. That's just AFC North
school.
football. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We prefer home games over away games. The rest of the league is not caught up to us on that front yet. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. So there's the trade right there. Elijah Moore for pick 42, which I will admit, if you asked me yesterday, what does Elijah Moore go for? I would not have included pick 42. But you get pick 74 back, so you're really just moving back 32 spots in the draft, and you get Elijah Moore. I think that's a pretty good deal for the Browns. Elijah Moore, 2 years left on his rookie contract. His base salary, his cap hits for the next 2 years, talking like $2 million a season. The Browns already have a lot of big bills to pay. They sort of get to catch their breath here and go, yeah, Hopkins would have been awesome. But man, Hopkins for 19 or a Moore for 20, Moore for 2, and one of them is 8 years younger. Maybe Hopkins is going to be a better immediate contributor in 2023, and that would have been, the spectacular show by the lake. But I like this move, right? It sort of balances, checks and balances, right? You got a lot of money going to guys like Deshaun Watson, Denzel Ward, Myles Garrett, David Njoku. You're going to extend DPJ soon, sometime in the next 12 months. Nick Chubb, Batonio, Teller. A lot of mouths to feed you're already feeding. Getting more for 2 years left on his rookie deal at $2-ish million a season, if that's like a big sigh of relief for Andrew Berry to go, okay, that's one less thing I have to try and figure out to try and manipulate the cap and not screw over the Browns for the future if this all sort of blows up, which we won't even talk into existence. Now, make sure to subscribe if you're not already. I want to see how many subscribers we are at right now, and if we can get ourselves up to 18,000 subs. We're 6 away from 17,700 and 800 subs. If we get 6 subs, free dog bowl for the people. I'll be refreshing 6 subs away from reaching 17,800 subscribers. Let's get there from today's live show. If you subscribe, type me in the comment section. I'll start giving shout outs to everyone. Kenny Miller says OBJ next. We'll talk about OBJ in a few moments, so don't go anywhere. Let's see. We're 4 subs away. 4 subs away. Russell says no to OBJ. Levi Mayfield with a $5 super chat. Let's go. We'll throw Levi's super chat on screen for you guys in just a second. We are 2 subs away. Let's go. Let's throw Levi's super chat on screen. Best effing offseason ever. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof. I mean, let's be real. Andrew Berry, the last 2 off seasons. Players he has acquired. Deshaun Watson, Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, Dalvin Tomlinson, Juan Thornhill. Like, that's not a bad free agency and trade pool to pick from right there, if you ask me. So, yeah, it's been a fun year, like 12 months for the Browns, if you ask me, in terms of doing stuff in the offseason for a change here. Oh, there we go, 17,800 subscribers. Thank you so much. Here comes a free dog bowl on the house. We'll just bottom this one out, baby. There we go. Cannonball time. Thank you, thank you. Cheers to you. Oh, I see Michael Warnecki's lurking. Woo! Michael Warnecki, $20 super chat. That's a fireball shot. $20 super chat. That's a fireball shot. $50, we'll do beer and fireball in the dog bowl, in case you're wondering. Michael, always appreciate you and your continued support of the channel. You're a real one, man. Delicately pour this bad boy. Okay. Cannonball! Cannonball coming! Cannonball! It's a bit harsh. The Cleveland M. Turner family, $20. That's another fireball shot. Best optimism ever heading into the season, ever since Watson got here. Let's go, Browns. Let's get this ring. Woof, woof. I don't think the NFL is ready for the Browns to be consistently good moving forward. I know it hasn't happened, and I'm just trying to speak it into existence. Thank you, Big Tex. But, yeah, I mean, everything's there. It's all in front of the Browns. They have an easy schedule because they finished last in the AFC North last year. They've got the superstar quarterback they have been looking for since Bernie. It's all in front of them. Stefanski, get it done. The whole city's counting on you. Browns backers from the West Coast to the East Coast to the Far East to everywhere across the globe. We're counting on you. You got to get this right. Please. Okay. Joshua Miller with a $2 super. I owe a shot for that last one, too. If best available at 74 is a CB, do we take him? I see what you did there. Dude, why not? I mean, if it's a slot corner, too, that is sort of a need for the Browns. Maybe CB is one spot where you go, okay, we might be good. But, because you could, like, you're going to have Denzel Ward under contract for 3 more years after this season. Right? Or 4 more years? 3 more years? I can't remember. And Martin Emerson's got 2 more years after this season, and Greg Newsome could have up to 3 years after this season. So maybe corners one spot where you go, okay, we can look at a different group. But even then, you can never have enough good corners. Plus, Denzel Ward never played a full season. Greg Newsome has never played a full season. Just going to put that out there. Cheers to the Turner family. Cannonball time. Okay. Lee County, I just want to say sheriff. Southwest Florida. Lee County Scratcher. Cade York better performance. Special teams need improvement as last year they were atrocious. This is a great point you bring up about special teams. We're talking about all the personnel changes the Browns have made. How about the fact that they casually picked up Jim Schwartz, one of the best defensive coordinators in the game, and Bubba Vitrone, coming back to Cleveland and one of the most ascending special teams coordinators in the game. They didn't just get better on the field. They got better in the coaching room as well. So, yes, Cade York, he needs to be better. And Bubba Ventrone's got a lot of homework to do to get that piece right. But they have improved at two very important and key, coordinator positions as well. Soul Train, I know what this is about because I saw your tweet. Still want a better strong side linebacker, but I love the trade. Yeah, the linebacker room, you got JOK, Walker, and Taki as your three starters. Two of them are on one-year contracts. JOK is entering year 3 of 4, so he's got 2 more years left. Jacob Phillips has 1 year left, if I remember correctly, or 2. But aside the point, the linebacker's one spot where if the Browns pick the best if the best player available is a linebacker at 74, that's change your pants type of stuff right there, because that is 2 birds, 1 stone, addressing a future need, linebacker, and getting best player available. What's not to love? One more time. Browns get Elijah Moore and a 3rd-round pick. The Jets get pick 42 in the draft. It'll be a little bit tough not picking that early, right? It's fun to pick early in the draft. No one likes not picking early, but I like proven talent. And let's throw Elijah Moore's stats on screen from the last 2 seasons, because if the Browns can capture what he had in his rookie season and apply that to a Deshaun Watson-led offense, 538 yards and 5 touchdowns in 11 games. 11 games. Let me do the math really quickly. Rolly, can you give some shout-outs here?
Yeah, if you're hyped about this trade, type CLE. Let's get the Clevelands in the chat.
I like that.
Spam the chat. Let's get hyped about this big-time trade. We woke up today. We didn't expect that. But, hey, Andrew Berry made a swing, and he got a wide receiver with some speed to help Amari Cooper and DPJ. Soul Train, Megan, cool guy called Zone, Scarehouse,
okay,
Courtney, Joe, R. Escobar, Jake Beck, Big J Rock 44 says Bobby Wagner, 4-Leaf Clover, Ty Man the Buckeye.
Ty Man the Buckeye, yeah. So if you take those numbers right there, look at the left-hand side of your screen. 538 in 11 games. If you prorated that over the entirety of a 17-game season, that's an 845-yard receiver. 5 touchdowns turns into about 7.5. So those kind of numbers for a wide receiver 2 or 3, that's pretty darn good if you ask me, for moving back 30 spots in round 2 of the draft. Now, as we start to settle down a little bit here, I do want to remind everyone about our Super Chat menu today. Any Super Chat, you get a shout-out, you get on screen. $2, I'll ask for your take. Give me your take. We'll throw it on screen for everyone to see. $5, it's a dog bowl. I feel like I owe everyone a big dog bowl because I might have missed 1 or 2. $20, I'm not behind on that one. Fireball shots. And $50, we do Browns player comps. And as things start to settle down just a little bit, we'll start to show you what that means. But basically, anytime you Super Chat, we'll throw your player comp on screen for everyone to see. Brad Studnicka, what's up? Clowney back for a 1-year deal. That's funny, Brad. No. Clowney's not coming back to the Browns, especially the price of $11 million. I don't think the Browns would even be interested at Clowney paying them $11 million. So, no, I don't see Clowney coming back. I've heard some rumblings about maybe the Bears. That would be interesting. Or maybe Seattle. They want to bring him back.
Is that PD Rumors?
PD Rumors. Oh, boy. We got a $20 Super Chat coming in from Jonathan Mann. Let's go, Jonathan Mann. You're behind now. What's my total, by the way? Are you able to calculate that, Rolly? Rolly's he's the channel accountant. He's going to tax that for you, and we'll get it up there for you, everyone to see. But I definitely owe you a fireball shot. Stay ahead of the game here. I am pumped about this trade. I just can't explain to you how important it is for the Browns to be going into the draft with every box they needed to be checked for the offseason. It feels like you've done all your homework and you still got 2 weeks left before the group project. And it's like, well, we can just kind of hang out, screw around for a little bit. And the draft can't not go well because we already did everything we needed to do. Cheers to you, Jonathan, man. What's your total up? Rolly's going to let you know. Cannonball, though.
After doing some serious accounting work, crunching the numbers, getting into the Excel sheets.
Crunching the numbers?
I have you at 34, Jonathan.
34. So, Jonathan, if you get to 50, which you're $15 away because we round up here, we're nice professors at the channel, we'll give you a Browns player comp. So anytime you super chat in the future, that'll go on screen for everyone to see, and that's kind of like your shtick, right? That's your thing right there. Some shout-outs here. Let's see what everyone's saying right now. David, I'm a Jets fan. You guys got the better end of the deal. I think for the Jets, though, for being honest, they're set at wide receiver, right? They might look back and regret moving on from Elijah Moore if he's really special with the Browns. But they got Mecole Hardman and Alan Lazard and Corey Davis, what's his role on that team now, and a guy named Garrett Wilson. So, like, the Jets have still plenty of good receivers. I don't understand why they didn't just stick by Elijah Moore more, but clearly they felt they could upgrade elsewhere. Oh, Jonathan, man, let's go. Clay Matthews. You know what? I think we'll have to do it. Jonathan, man, Clay Matthews. Next live show, it takes me a little minute to ramp up the Photoshop skills, but we'll get you a Clay Matthews random Browns player comp. So anytime you super chat.
Clay Matthews, that's not.
It's Clay Matthews Jr. Or Senior, rather. Junior was the Packers guy.
Okay.
There's a whole family lineage of Matthews.
I didn't know that there was an old
Three
one.
Matthews played in the NFL.
I didn't know there was.
Actually, 4. Clay Matthews' cousin is Jake Matthews, the left tackle of the Falcons.
Ah.
Yeah, the whole Matthews family dominates the National Football League.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
I did not know that.
Papa Matthews played for the Browns before
Clay. Did not know that.
Well, before the Packers, Clay Matthews came around. All right, that's another $20 super chat. Jonathan, man, you are the MVP of today's show so far. We're at $214. I wasn't going to bring it up, but producer Rolly brought it into the studio, and I was like, all right, your call. We got the shot fun here. We've got a cold beer looking me straight in the face. I think if we get to $300, which we are $85 away from right now, we'll shotgun a beer right now. So $85 away from doing a shot fun. Once we reach 300, we'll get to that point. Grade the trade, though. Let me see what you guys are grading it. A, B, C, D, or F. Mick the dog. Producer Rolly's not the Browns guy. He's just being a very nice producer stepping in. So don't be too harsh on the guy. Here we go.
What is someone?
Someone's calling for your Browns, saying you don't know Browns ball.
Who said that?
That was Mick the dog. Cheers to you, Jonathan.
How can you be on a Browns chat and not know about Clay Matthews? Oh, yeah.
I mean, Rolly just doesn't know.
I don't know Browns ball.
2000 Cleveland Browns ball.
I got to be honest, guys. If you just want me to be transparent, and I think that's the best way for us to be moving forward. Anything before 2013 Browns related?
Before Josh Gordon.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Don't ask me.
Brandon Whedon's the cutoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I like Brandon Whedon.
Yeah.
Yeah, go Whedon, baby.
Lee County Scratcher. Let me get some shout-outs. Jonathan's giving it an A. I haven't gotten your grade, Rolly. What's your grade on this trade?
I give it, you had it as a B, then you upgraded to a B+.
I upgraded to B+.
And then it's going to end at an A-.
It'll end at an A-. It'll be an A+ by the time I wake up tomorrow morning.
I think B is a solid number.
Yeah, I like that.
His first year, he looked so promising. Year 2, not so good. You had a debacle in the middle of the season. Mm-hmm. If he requested a trade, he didn't. But the talent's there, the speed's there. Him as wide receiver 2/3 in the slot, however you want to book it, with a above-average quarterback and hopefully a good play caller in Stefanski, I think he's going to shine.
I think there is something to be said about, and we'll throw some super chats we got on in just a second. Why does Elijah Moore want to get traded, right? Does Elijah Moore want to get traded because he's a diva? Does Elijah Moore want to get traded because he doesn't fit in a locker room? No one said that from the Jets, right? It's just that he wants more playing time because he knows this is a business, and you get one good opportunity to cash in free agency. And that's after your rookie deal's done. Because you're 25, you're 26, you're entering your prime. That's where you're going to make your money. So if the team is not giving him snaps or an opportunity, I don't really blame him for being like, you know what? To hell with this. Put me on a team where I can get the football and I can show what I did my rookie year, right? If you're like Denzel Mims and like you're worthy of the snaps, that's a different conversation. But when you look at what he did in his first season, it's like, no, I think that is a pretty good grievance to have of, no, I'm not a troublemaker, right? I'm not like a detriment to this team or anything. It's just I'm not getting an opportunity to make a case for myself to make money in free agency. So please send me somewhere where I can do that, because clearly this is not happening here, right? 446 yards and 1 touchdown last year on 37 grabs. For whatever reason, new regime sort of coming into New York decided we like Garrett Wilson. We don't see much in Elijah Moore. Fine. Your loss is our gain. I'm very excited about this. I think this is a very good move by the Browns. I don't have concerns over Elijah Moore. Is he a diva or something? No one said he's a diva, right? I'll tell you who a diva is. Robbie Anderson. Chosen Anderson, right? That's a diva. That's a guy who was traded 3 times in the last, or traded to the Cardinals after putting up a fit because Baker, which I guess you really can't blame him looking back at it, was going to be his quarterback in Carolina. And then the Panthers released him, then the Cardinals released him 5 months after trading for him. That's not the situation here. Lee County Scratcher. I believe the team will get behind Jim Schwartz and Bubba. I'm not sure where they actually land on Stefanski. If I was a player in my prime that's been on the team, I'd be pissed Stefanski has to win 3 of first 4 or he is gone. Yeah, I do think Stefanski's biggest strength is probably his play calling, which is sometimes it feels like his biggest weakness. So I do think there might be some frustration with players like Nick Chubb and Myles Garrett of like, dude, when our contracts are up, especially for Chubb, like, this is my playoff window. Please don't get this wrong. Don't butcher it. I really hope he does get it right. I can't say for certainty, right? I'm not going to get on my knees for Stefanski, but I do think that he is going to have a good season. I want to just talk it into existence more than anything, because I have seen him do great things with an injured Baker, and he made Jacoby Brissett a lot of money in free agency. Please, it's like, he makes the tough stuff look super easy, but he can't get the easy stuff down, it felt like, with Watson. You don't have a troublesome quarterback. You've got a superstar QB. Now you've got a full offseason to prepare for him as QB1. Whereas last year you were in this limbo of like, Brissett, Watson, Brissett, Watson. It's only Watson now. Get it right, Kevin. Soul Train, I owe a shot too for that last one. If Watson is a top 5 QB, A+ offseason. I've been saying it for a while. You guys know producer Seeps. He's doing his own show right now. If you want to go show him some support over at Vikings Now by Chat Sports. But last year, Trevor Lawrence was people are forgetting that he was the first overall pick for a reason. He's going to be really good. And then he won a playoff game. Deshaun Watson is I think people are forgetting how good Deshaun Watson is. So, yeah, Watson. I don't know if I can go top 5 level because so quickly the top 5 fills up with like Burrow, Mahomes, and Allen, right? Not in that order necessarily. But like, boom, you're already out 3 out of the top 5. You want to make arguments for Herbert or Lamar or Rodgers. Like, you might be just on the outside looking in, but he could finish 2023 in the top 5 in one of those last 2 remaining spots. All right, cheers to that last $20 super chat. I got some more coming, it looks like. Cannibal.
Yeah, keep that shot glass ready, Petey.
Chef Ruben. I think we got a player comp for Chef Ruben. Petey, you missed my dog bowl from previous. Okay, 2 dog bowls from previous super chat. Now you owe me 2 dog bowls. Special request: drink on all 4s. Woof woof. Okay, now we're getting a bit, it's
a little kinky.
A bit cheeky, a bit kinky.
A little kinky.
I'm getting a fat dog bowl coming up.
But that is Terrell Pryor.
Did you know he was on the Browns?
I love Terrell Pryor.
Yeah, there
Come
you
on.
go.
Listen, that was after Josh Gordon.
Cannibal.
Therefore, I'm good to go. Anything after Josh Gordon on the Browns, I think I could get you.
It's okay. There's about a 5-year gap where no one should be blamed for not knowing anyone on the roster during that test. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't think anyone should be blamed for not knowing who was on a 1-win team over 2 seasons. Like, if you're just a general NFL fan,
that
you're
one
like,
win, though, was electric.
Oh. Okay, Terrell Pryor. Shout out to you, Chef Ruben. We got some more super chats to catch up on. Here they come in. J Sam HRI03. His potential is the upside and the only reason. Should the Browns bundle up some picks and try and get one of their guys at a position of need, what positions of need do they have left? Like, if we're looking through all 22 starters, start on offense. Offensive line is set. Quarterback set. Running back set. Wide receiver set. Tight end set. We go to defense, safeties set. Corners set. Linebackers, I'll say set, right? Defensive line, the only spot is that other defensive tackle opposite Dalvin Tomlinson. That's the only spot where you can make an argument to have an upgrade from Perion Winfrey or Jordan Elliott. Does that 1 out of 22 spots warrant giving up some more draft picks for DeForest Buckner? It would be fun, don't get me wrong, but I worry about the longevity of this roster if you just start getting all these older guys who are expensive and have 1 or 2 years left. I think Andrew Berry needs to show he can be a good drafter. So now is the time for him to stunt on us, flex on us, and nail some of these day 2, early day 3 picks as legitimate rotational defensive linemen for the next 4 years. Because the previous 3, Elliott, Togiai, and not Winfrey just yet, but it wasn't ideal. Those 2 have been whiffs so far. Dog Bowl coming up here, and then another cannonball. Okay. Appreciate you, Jay Sam. Really thank you very much for the super chat. Here we go.
Don't forget, guys, we are actually $32 away from making Petey do a beer shot fund.
$32 away. You can either group effort, you know what I mean? Or one person who just wants to big dick it. By all means, go for it. Nicholas, what's going on, my man? I don't like the Moore trade. Okay. Moore hasn't proven anything that a rookie in this class couldn't. We essentially wasted our chance at Johnson from Iowa. Tank Dell would have done just as good a job for probably a 4th. I do see why people could be skeptical. I don't think if you're uneasy about this trade, you're crazy. You know what I mean? Like, if you were uneasy about the Amari Cooper trade, I think you're crazy. This trade, I can see why. Because losing pick 42 and moving back 30 spots isn't nothing, right? It is something. You'd rather be 30 spots forward than not. But I don't agree with he hasn't proven anything that a rookie in this class couldn't. What do we learn from the draft last year or the year before? Like, the draft is never a guarantee. Anthony Schwartz, I just read, finished number 1 at the combine for the 40-yard dash, 3rd-round pick for the Browns. What kind of rookie impact was that? Or any impact since then? David Bell, I liked that pick a lot last year. He was more or less a non-factor for the Browns last year, if we're being honest. Elijah Moore in his rookie season, 5 touchdowns, 538 yards. You don't find that type of production often from receivers outside of the first round who aren't even wide receiver 1 on their own team. So I get that Jack Campbell would have been you think of Jack Campbell, the linebacker? Anywho, Johnson, the receiver. Okay, sorry. Because I like Jack Campbell a lot. Or Tank Dell from Houston, yeah. You could still probably pick a receiver in round 4 if you still want to. You got 2 4th-round picks. So I just like the idea of acquiring a 22-year-old receiver, 2 years left on his rookie deal, when you're trying to win now. But also finding that balance of, like, win now, but not be so all in that if you lose on a walk-off field goal, I'm not going to even finish the rest of my sentence because I don't want to even jinx it. You're not screwed because, oh boy, the Browns have a bunch of dead cap hits coming up, bunch of older players who they can't afford anymore. You're trying to find that balance of, like, expensive, good, proven players and also rookies still on their contract who are valuable, right? I think this is a great trade for that reason. Nicholas, do appreciate your super chat, though. $20 super chat. That is a fireball shot. Do I hear Here We Go Steelers right now? Oh,
yeah, those little losers are in the back
Cannonball
studio right now. Can't believe Steelers are live. What do they have to be live about? They're not making any good moves.
They're not doing anything. They're not doing jack squat.
They're going to finish 4th in the division next year. It's going to be glorious. F Pitt in the chat. Time and the
F
Buckeye.
Pitt in the chat. F Pitt in the chat. Let's get it going. F Pitt in the chat right now. F Pitt. Our Steelers Talk channel by Jack Sperry. They're live right now. Probably just talking about doing fucking nothing all offseason.
Or they're talking about how good Kenny Pickett will be. No, he actually sucks nuts.
Yeah, bingo. What he said. Ditto. F Pitts right now in the chat. Let's go. If you want to go flood their channel, I won't stop you. Just go spam F Pitt over there. It's fun. It's fun. We'll get the link in the chat right now. You guys can go play Sabotage Mode. Bronny D with a super chat. We got a Browns player comp for him. We whipped that up just yesterday for you, Bronny D. Bobby Wagner. That would be fun, right? If you get Bobby Wagner, could you imagine JOK, Anthony Walker, and Bobby Wagner? Now, Wagner, if I remember, is he's a middle linebacker, so you'd have to move Walker, but that's not the end of the world. I mean, that would be an unreal defense. Top to bottom. Delpit, Thornhill, Emerson, Newsome, Ward, Wagner, JOK, Garrett, Tomlinson. That's a top 10 defense. No joke about it. That would be awesome. Bronny D, though, he's the Paul Kruger. That is the Browns player comp. I went with Bronny D. We spoke about players who kind of got forgotten in that era of not maybe the most glamorous Cleveland Browns football. But Paul Kruger, 11.5 sack season, if I remember correctly. So, Bronny D, I hope you like the Browns player comp. I think you let me pick. If you wanted to pick, just let me know in the chat. And maybe I did forget you requested a player. I can't remember now. I've had way too many fireball shots to go back. But we can make some adjustments if we need to. All right, let's throw the trade on screen right now. And let's kind of re-hit the news a little bit here. Browns getting Elijah Moore and a third-round pick for a second-rounder. What is the takeaway from the video class? The Browns did not trade a second for Elijah Moore. You cannot exclude that third-round pick coming back. Because if you cancel out the picks, it's basically Elijah Moore for a very early third-round pick. And if I asked you that 2 months ago, would you do it? I think a lot of people would say yes. We'll look at his career stats in just a second. But Elijah Moore coming over for an early third-rounder to be the slot receiver, maybe even wide receiver 2. I don't know who's number 2. Is it DPJ or Moore? The fact that we have to have that debate because they're both so good, young, ascending players is a good problem to have, in my opinion. Moore through 2 seasons, 984 yards, 6 touchdowns. I get it. Those numbers don't look like something you want to see over 2 seasons. 1 season maybe, but not 2. Remember that he missed some time in his first season, and he was more effectively better, he's a healthy scratch for times year 2 because the Jets just didn't have a role for him in their awful offense that did not incorporate an air raid. Now in Cleveland, there is an air raid, and Elijah Moore will flourish under it. So let's go. Okay, what's your one-word reaction to the Elijah Moore trade? Light up the chat right now. Want to know what everyone's thinking. We've been stuck at $268 in super chats. We are $32 away from doing a beer shotgun here on the channel to celebrate the Elijah Moore trade. Help us get there. If you want to support the show in more ways than just one, super chats go a long way and are always greatly appreciated.
Listen, PD, I just had to come on screen because I pulled up our Steelers channel.
Yeah.
And there are
so many F-hits?
Infinity amounts of
Give some shout-outs. Give some shout-outs.
I mean, Browns fan called Zone.
Yeah.
He dominated in there. We have Hoodie Rich MO, Thug Slug, Lincoln, J Sam HRI03. AFX Apocalypse.
There we go.
Soul Train hopped over there.
Soul Train.
Mason. Let's see. William McKay. League Country Scratcher. Boone Country or County Dominators.
Let's go, guys. F-Pit all day long. Shout out to everyone who went over behind enemy lines and just destroyed their chat with F-Pits because I'm not going to lie, I would have yeah, beating Steelers Week 18 would have been a nice note to end on. But looking back, are you any happier right now if the Browns won or lost that game? Maybe a little bit because it's beating the Steelers. But finishing last and getting that 4th place schedule. If you're not familiar, the NFL schedule, by the way, is not a random draw. You have 17 games. 6 of them are your division. So now you have 11 more. You rotate one division from the NFC and the AFC, and you play all 4 teams in those divisions. So that's 4 plus 4 is 8, plus your 6 is 14. 3 more games. Bottom 3 teams of 3 other divisions. 4th place finishers. Like the Denver Broncos. Like the Chicago Bears. Not too bad if you ask me. So I don't hate it at all.
All right. So Brownie D just said in the chat, if you see this,
Yeah.
maybe make mine Josh Cribbs because we're taking it all the way yard for yard this year. I got unfortunate
We already
news
have a
for
Josh
you, Brownie
Cribbs.
D. We already have a Josh Cribbs.
Michael Misner, who I haven't seen in a minute, too. That's a bummer because he was an active member on the channel for a good stretch right there.
So unfortunately, Josh Cribbs is taken.
Is Mayfield jersey worth getting at Goodwill for $20? No, because you're going to buy it and you won't even want to wear it. I get it, you get a Browns jersey then, and no one would know that you bought it afterwards, so there's no shame in that if they think you bought it beforehand. But I don't know about you guys. NFL jerseys, that's my thing. I love the science behind buying a jersey, okay? You got to get a good jersey, okay? If we could have a moment, come a little closer, please. You don't buy a Deshaun Watson jersey because you don't get the number 1 player on the team. People will think that you don't know the Browns well. People will think that you just went to Dick's and you bought the first jersey you saw. You don't do that. You got to find some tier 2 guys, right? I've got an Amari Cooper jersey and a Nick Chubb jersey. Now, the Chubb was a gift, and if I got to really pick, maybe I would have gone a second tier below that. But I'll tell you this much. I hope Shay's not watching right now. But it was a throwback one, right? The 75-year anniversary. So, I still liked it a lot. But anyway, if I see someone wearing a Martin Emerson jersey, I'm not buying them a beer. I'm paying their drinks for the rest of the night, right? If you see someone in a Joel Petonio jersey, I get it, linemen aren't cool. But if a Donovan Peoples-Jones jersey walks into the bar I'm at, I'm taking a picture with the guy, right? You have to. You got to get the second-tier jersey guys because those are the people that know ball. Thank you.
I'll say this. You want to know ball, you want to go out in Cleveland with a Browns jersey and just everyone be like, oh, my God, that person knows so much ball. If you walk up with a throwback Josh Cribbs uni, you just bring up Josh Cribbs, you might be the biggest Browns ball knower known to man.
Yes. Everyone's going to go, that's a Browns super fan, right? No doubt about it. If you walk up with a Menzel jersey.
I got you, and I got another one.
If you walk up with a Menzel jersey, I'm actually going to assume you're not a Browns fan and you just think the jersey's cool. I think that's fair to say.
Ready for this one?
Yep.
Brian Hoyer.
2014 legend.
Die-hard Browns fan. Couldn't be more die-hard.
I know. If I see someone with a JOK jersey on,
they know ball.
I'm going to ask him to be my wedding. I will. It'll be that simple.
What about Emerson? That one's
Martin Emerson, that would be awesome.
You know ball.
Denzel Ward,
so
you know ball.
Who are the 2 people? I'd say Myles Garrett and Deshaun Watson. You can't have.
Those are the 2 jerseys.
I'll throw Nick Chubb in there.
I don't think you can only have 2. One on each side of the football.
I
think Nick Chubb is step below. Step below. That's the super chat menu. Hey, if you like the free content we're doing here and you want to, scratch our back and support us here, a little tip in the jar. This goes a long way to keeping the show afloat. So by all means, feel free to exercise that option if you would like. Scott A with a super chat. Without Zach Wilson, Moore was elite. Throwing to Moore boosted the Jets' quarterback passer rating by a whopping 48.4 points. He should be good. Scott A, you know ball, right? Exactly right. For what Elijah Moore did, because I've already memorized the stats by now, 538 yards and 5 touchdowns in 11 games his rookie season. In year 1, take that with Deshaun Watson in year 3. We're talking about an 800 yards, 7 touchdown receiver. And not even receiver 1 or maybe even receiver 2 on this team. You know ball, Scott. Let's go. Dog bowl for you. I'll combine it with Jonathan Mann's.
I think Jonathan Mann is saying jerseys to have. This is the only way I could interpret this.
We got some throwbacks here. Hanford Dixon, Jim Brown, Joe Thomas. Here's the thing. I as a younger guy, I think that's pretty clear. I've never been a fan of getting major throwback jerseys. If I didn't get to watch them play, I don't feel like I'll ever truly appreciate how great they were. You know what I mean? So, and I don't spend my time watching Browns games from Jim Brown era, hand up. That's not my weekends usually. So I like to get players who I saw play. That's just always been my Jersey logic. But hey, if you saw them play, that changes things. I'm just not in that age tier. Jonathan Mann and our last $5 super chat. Who was it from, Rolly?
Scott A.
Scott A. Yeah, Scott A knows ball. Scott knows ball.
Scott knows ball.
Double dog bowl. Cannonball.
We are now $23 away from PD having to do a beer shot fun. 23 away. Just throwing it out there.
$23 away from 300, doing a shot fun. Let's go. Elijah Moore, it's a Cleveland Brown. Let's go. Keith with a super chat. I love it, Keith. We'll talk about Odell Beckham Jr. after Keith's super chat here. More trade B+ in my opinion. That's where I was. We've got a player comp for Keith, by the way. Hope we hit our most draft picks. Welcome back, PD. I know you were back last week, but I missed the show. Hope you have my there. Yeah, I didn't even get to finish it off. Yeah, Michael Dean Perry, the Fridges brother. Yeah, there we go. I did have a great time. Like it's almost what is it now? 3 weeks ago, I was in London for a week-long vacation. Had a great time across the pond, but it's good to be back stateside. I feel like such a foreigner, like a foreign exchange student right there. Across the pond, stateside. I hate myself already.
Yeah, that was, as a history buff and someone who knows other countries well, I'm surprised you'd stoop to that level of being a touristy type person.
Yeah, that was like everyone's got that asshole in your friend group who studied abroad in college and never stopped talking about it. I was that person for 10 seconds. You
talking about in 2017? Oh, I was just in London studying abroad.
Yeah. I wasn't watching March Madness when Virginia won. I was in Vienna, actually. Like, no one gives a shit, dude. Thank you so much, Keith, for the super chat. Dog bowl for you. While I drink this dog bowl, Rolly, let's talk about OBJ to the Browns, potentially.
Get that reunion coming. Let's go. Did you see Myles Garrett on Instagram responding to a commenter? He said, I'm working on it when it comes to the commenter asking, Myles, get OBJ's ass back here immediately, brother.
I'll say this much. The Browns locker room, 53 players, 52 were unhappy when Odell Beckham Jr. left, right? It was clear, and I don't really blame the divorce happening. I do put a little bit of blame on Odell Beckham. His dad ruined it when he put that video out, which I don't think Odell Beckham Jr. knew nothing about, right? It worked out well for OBJ. If you're looking from his perspective, he got out of a bad situation and he won a Super Bowl, right? It worked out pretty well for him. So, like, I don't think he's wrong for maybe encouraging his dad to, like, yeah, post that video of Baker missing throws to me or overthrowing me. But Baker's gone. Watson's great. Loaded roster. Wants to win another Super Bowl. Has familiarity with the Browns, so he's not going to a brand new situation, which, like, that is a real thing, right? For a player to go to a new city, learn a new system, they'll kind of skip all over that if you were to come back to the Browns. Is it likely? I don't think so because of the money. I just think Odell Beckham Jr. will want somewhere between $10 to $15 million a season, and that's probably too much for the Browns. But if Andrew Berry wants to restructure one more contract and free up some more money, or if Odell Beckham Jr. wants to wait till post-June 1st when John Johnson's money kicks in, who knows? Maybe. Maybe. Would you want OBJ back? Let me know in the comment section. OBJ for yes. No BJ for no. Let me know in the comments. I'll be giving shout-outs. OBJ for yes. No BJ for no Odell Beckham Jr.
AFX Apocalypse just sent a shot into my soul saying, imagine being a Falcons fan. What's up with that, AFX?
Christopher says no BJ. Here we go. Dave, OBJ is too much drama. He's definitely not no drama. Like, he had episodes where he was fighting the kicking thing on the sideline. Remember that with the Giants? The kicking, what's it called?
Oh, yeah, he hit the net.
The kicking net.
Didn't he punch
was
it?
Boxing
and then
it
came back and hit him in the head, didn't it?
Yeah.
Electric Factory.
It was something. It looked like September 1st, 1939 between him and that kicking net. But hopefully now that he's a bit older in his career, he's got paid a lot, and he's won a Super Bowl ring, He won't sort of have that OBJ drama following him around. But, yeah, I don't think it's completely out of the realm of possibilities that he brings some drama to the team. But, I mean, he's a really good receiver. He just has to be used correctly. And the Browns, well, Baker just wasn't getting it done. Let's just call it what it is now. I think we can all agree, looking back, I at the time thought it was a little bit more, not 50-50, but like 60-40 Baker. Now it's more like 90-10 Baker, if we're being honest about the situation. Here's the trade if you're just tuning in. Elijah Moore to Cleveland, along with pick 74 in the draft. The Jets get pick 42. In English, Elijah Moore for an early third rounder, right? When you kind of just water down pick 42 because you got pick 74 back, you're getting Elijah Moore, but you're moving back 32 spots in the draft. I think that's a decent price to pay. Wide receiver depth chart now, it's a pretty good room. Cooper, Donovan Peoples-Jones, and Elijah Moore. Those are three great receivers to have on your roster. GMs would love to have those three receivers. To have David Bell hopefully come up a little bit more after his rookie year, and Michael Woods was awesome in the preseason last year. Like, I know I'm kind of just doing some deep fishing for some of these other players, but, man, I do feel a lot better about this room going into just the draft where I don't even think, like, if the Browns don't draft a receiver, Amari Cooper has at least 2 more years on the Browns, including 2023. Then he's a free agent after 2024. So if the future of this room is Donovan Peoples-Jones, Elijah Moore, and who knows what they do next year in free agency or the draft, that's a really good fallback room if you ask me. If you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and do so. We've got over 300 people hanging out with us still following the trade. So, hey, we're at 17,808 subscribers. If we get to 25, we'll do another dog bowl on the house. So if you haven't subbed yet, hit that big red button. If it's even red anymore, I think YouTube changed it not long ago. Regardless, subscribe. Starting to get a little bit tipsy. I will not be driving home. Do not fret. I've had like 4 fireball shots and 2 beers. When you say 2 beers and say drunk, you come across as a big-time beta. But I'm telling you, out of the dog bowl, it feels like double the beer.
What does that even mean?
I'll tell you what it means. It goes straight to the dome immediately. Usually when you drink beer, it goes down your throat and goes into your stomach. When you drink out of a dog bowl, it actually goes upstairs, around the cranium, and then downstairs. And you get 10 times drunker. I can't explain the science, but
it's
a
hypothesis
fact.
You got
It's
going
not a
there.
hypothesis. It's a fact. Okay, Super Chat menu, though, because we are so close to $300 in Super Chats, and that's going to be a shot fun for the people. Any Super Chat, you get on screen. $2, give me your take. Give me your opinion on the Elijah Moore trade. $5, that's a dog bowl right upstairs. $20, we got the fireball on hand, so we'll take some fireball shots. And $50, if you work up to that point, you will get a Browns player comp that will show on screen anytime you Super Chat in the future. I feel good. I'm feeling good about this trade. I really am, right? Rolly and I were in a big company chat sports meeting. Trade got done. Verbal meme. It was like Always Sunny. You know what I mean? When Mac and Charlie lock eyes, and it's like, it's go time, baby. We're going live on the Browns Report. F. Pitts coming in. I love it from Ty Man, the Buckeye. We got a Steelers fan from Luke Cross. Let's get Luke Cross the fuck out of the chat right now. Let's get some F. Pitts going in the chat. Let's go. Scarehouse Tim Zombie. Live in Pittsburgh and bleed brown and orange. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof. All right.
Is that who I think it is in the chat?
Where? Is that Cassie?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is that who I think
here.
it is? Is that who I think that is?
Cassie, good to see you in the chat. We're gonna get you over to our side, the right side of the AFC North. Cassie's awesome. She's a chat sports sweetheart. Shout out to Cassie for coming over to the Browns Report. Thank you. F. Pitts coming in. I love to see it. Oh, I see. So it looks like Sperry sent his flying monkeys, the Wicked Witch of the West, over to the Browns Report. It's not going to work as well. F. Pitts all day. Cass has already been getting hit on. Scarehouse Tim Zombie's making moves.
Nope.
Been 30 seconds.
Scarehouse.
Bonks all over.
Bad news for you, Scarehouse.
Yeah.
Taken.
Off the market. Kind of like Elijah Moore.
Yeah.
Cleveland Brown.
He's a Brown.
He's a Brown, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Now, we got a super chat coming in. On the other side of the super chat, I'm going to spend 5 minutes just kind of talking shop draft-wise, right? What's the strategy moving forward with the Browns not picking in rounds 1 or round 2? But not Webb's World. Not Webb's World. Your QB, a quagmire.
Giggity.
Giggity. Yeah, good response.
Giggity.
You just named like the best character in Family Guy.
Also,
so I don't know if that was a
not
diss.
Webb's World one. Just gonna say.
You're Webb's World.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Webb's World.
Yeah.
You are Webb's World. So
Also, what the hell is Yinsburg, man? I know what it is, but I've never heard of that. I'm from the Northeast. I've never heard of that.
It's a stupid thing Pittsburghers say, whatever it is.
The fuck is a Yinzer, man?
Yeah, you're Webb's World though. You are Webb's World. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof. We got producer Jeremy popping in here. Now we're making our way up there. We're $15 away from a shot fund though. So hey, be the one that gets the whole chat going, because if your super chat is $15 or more, I'll be doing a shot fund on camera. Oh, Jeremy's coming here talking big game here, saying Steelers is at $300 in super chats, and I hate losing to the Steelers more than I ever have to. Now, let's talk a little bit, just kind of bring it together for a moment. Elijah Moore is a Cleveland Brown. It cost the Browns essentially an early third-round pick. They don't pick in round 1. They don't pick in round 2. I don't see them moving up in the draft. Let's kind of just rule that out. Unless someone that they fall in love with starts really sliding and it's 8 spots away, yeah, maybe then they pick up the phone. But they're not getting back towards pick 42 range. So then we start talking about what are they going to do at pick 74. I don't have a list of draft targets at pick 74 off the top of my head, but I can talk to you about the combination of best player available and position of need. I think linebacker would be a very smart draft pick at pick 74 because Walker and Taki are both on 1-year deals. So both 2 out of your 3 starting linebackers, good chance at least one of them is gone after this season. Here are the picks for Cleveland in 2023. 2 picks in the top 100. Like, I know it might feel like the Browns are screwed in this draft, but let me remind you, the Rams last year, they didn't pick till after 100, right? The Dolphins had 4 picks in the draft last year altogether. The Browns have 4 picks in day 2 and early day 3. You can find good starters right there if you ask me. So, what are they looking for? I think linebacker makes a lot of sense if we're getting into details. I think maybe even offensive lineman, right? Look at if Jedrick Wills is not what they think a future left tackle should be, finding another swing tackle between Jack Conklin and Jedrick Wills could be fun. Other spots that jump out to me, maybe wide receiver because Amari Cooper might not be here in 2024 with a huge cap hit. But most importantly, best player available. Pretty much regardless of the position. Maybe not cornerback because you are pretty set there. Like if AJ Green has to play, I'm not all that nervous, honestly. He had a pick last year against the Bengals, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, I can make that work. Jonathan Mann with a $2 super chat. F-Pit. F-Pit indeed. Cheers to you, Jonathan Mann. Oh, we got over $300. Let's go. Shot fun time. Let's go, Browns. Jake Heath. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof. Okay, ready for the shot fun? Okay, we need the Miller lattes. The Coors don't fit in this thing, which is a big cucking for me because Coors is my go-to light beer. So we're going to do a shot fun for crossing $300 in super chats. Rolly's going to get the beer right now, so he just left the room. He doesn't know this, but if we get to $350, he'll do the next shot fun. Let's get there, and he won't know that it's coming for him. So let's get there. We're $45 away, $350. Producer Nick Roloff does the next shot fun here on the channel. But Jake, shout out to you. Thank you so much for super chatting and supporting the show. Elijah Moore is a Cleveland Brown. Let's go. We're having fun on the channel. We're having a good Wednesday. This is the best Wednesday. Woof, woof. Producer Coop giving the Here You Go Brownies chant. That's what I love to see. Okay. We got a shot fun coming. What are they up to? Steelers? What happened to them? Oh, okay. Okay, here we go. Shot fun time. Cheers to you, Jake Heath.
Chug, 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 chug.
Not gonna lie. Clean finish.
Ooh, what do you mean
You know
by
what I
that?
mean? I mean, sometimes you think you're done, but you're not really done. There's a little bit of extra spillage. No, clean, right to the bottom. That's what we like to see right there. Jake, thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Woo. We got a little bit extra slurpage. Oh, no wasting beer here. I'll be honest. My girlfriend calls me this. Subtle brag, I know. I'm a bit of a trash can of a human being.
Wow, you got a girlfriend, bro?
Yeah.
I get it. Take it easy. Save some for the rest of
Save
us,
some for the
man.
rest of
Come on.
But no, I'm king of leftovers. If I'm at a group function, I think it's pretty obvious now. If someone's not going to finish their meal, slide it over. Drives me nuts when people send back food half finished. Like, come to me. Chef Ruben, let's go Browns!
Joe
Chef Ruben
Urbis!
and Joe Urbis! Let's go!
Bang!
Rolly, you don't know this, but when you left to go get the Miller Lite,
I feel like I know what has happened.
I set a price
Ah.
for you to do the shot fun, and I was like, while he's out of the room,
And it was 50?
$350,
right.
and boom, there
All
it is.
right.
Joe with a $50 super chat. Let's go. Producer Rolly's turn. Is the other shot fun available, you think? Let's do a race. Get two. We'll race. We'll race if we get another $5 super chat by the time Rolly comes back from the kitchen. That's the deal. Okay, Joe Urbis. Joe, if you want to tell me the Browns player comp you'd like to have, anytime you super chat moving forward, we'll give you a shout out and throw it on screen. Shout out to you, Joe. Thank you so much. Let's go Browns, baby. Let's go Browns. That's what I love to see. You know what? I don't want to think about the Steelers right now because they didn't get anyone today. We got Elijah Moore. We got better. Have the Steelers gotten better this offseason? I don't think so. Let's go. $5 super chat. Me and Rolly will do a shot fun race. Let's go Browns, baby. That's what I'm talking about right now. Let's go. Bingo. Scott, I like Elijah Moore more than OBJ. Not too shabby of a take right there. I mean, maybe for a 22-year-old longevity-wise. How did the Steelers get better? Oh, Jonathan Mann with a $5 super chat. All right, I'm going to tune out the Pittsburgh crew in here because I'm just devoting too much of my cranium to them at the moment, and I'm having a good time. I want to celebrate Elijah Moore. I'll dunk on Steelers fans tomorrow during our Browns live show. Okay. We got let's throw the $50. Yeah, Jonathan Mann, $5. Cheers to you. That sets up a shot fun race. I don't know if I've shot fun race with you before. I've done it with, producer Seeps, the longtime producer of the Browns Report, but now he's getting pretty big here at Chat Sports, not going to lie.
Listen, he got, I guess, supposedly upgraded.
Yeah. Oh, that's a downgrade. That's a downgrade. Okay, here we go. Shot fun race time between Rolly and I. Who you got? Type P for Petey. Type N for Nick. Let me know in the chat right now who you got. This is what you do. When you trade for Elijah Moore, you don't just sit around and talk about X's and O's for 3 hours. You celebrate the damn trade, and that's what we're doing here. Let's go, Browns.
I don't know how your shot fun skills are, but kind of like, not to humble brag here.
You think you're going to smoke
I
me?
have a girlfriend. I think I'm like top of the office.
Is this your minor? Did
Yeah.
you minor in shot funning?
Listen, I'll say this. Marsha and on Knicks all the time.
Yeah.
I consistently beat him.
Okay.
I've never raced Brett. But that's
Brett's
always
probably
been
number
bad.
one.
Mark's
Yeah.
always beat Seeps. So by the process of elimination, I'm at the top of the crew.
You ready?
Yeah.
3,
You want to touch that?
3, 2, 1. I had a bad cock. You exploded and splurged.
That was me?
Oh, yeah, that was you.
Oh, really?
The camera doesn't lie.
Wow.
Just came right over the top. Yeah, see? The evidence speaks for itself right there. Let's go. You're dripping. I don't know if this even counts as a win. You're spilling all over the place right now. We got some more super chats. Oh, you squirted all over the screen. Brett's going to be pissed. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Okay. Here we go, brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof. Yeah, get some paper towels because it is on the screen. Jay Boone with a $5 super. We've got Always Balling with a super chat. We'll throw Always Balling on screen while Rolly gets some paper towels to clean up his spillage. The way I see it, Moore is better than any realistic wide receiver at 42, which they probably would have done. And you get an extra pick. Solid trade, go Browns. Always Balling, I don't know how many characters that is, but I think you absolutely hit this out of the park. Literally out of the park into the river. Let's go through the wide receivers in this upcoming draft. 4 guys I think are going to go round 1. I don't know the order. I don't know the location. But Zay Flowers, Quentin Johnston, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and Jordan Addison are not going to be on the board in round 2. So then, wide receivers in round 2. I think there's Jalen Hyatt. I think there is Josh Downs, Tank Dell. So then the question becomes, who do you like more? Elijah Moore or one of those guys? Those guys, we don't know. No one can say for sure one way or the other, whether it be good, great, or bust. But I do know this. I know Elijah Moore had 538 yards and 5 touchdowns his rookie year, playing 11 games in a dog shit offense. What he could do with the Browns, with Deshaun Watson at quarterback, that's a whole separate thing. So I like this take a lot from Always Balling. Great super chat. Really appreciate you. Could I get another Coors Light, please? Thank you. Here we go. Dog Bowl's coming up for this, and Jay Boone. What's up, Jay Boone? We'll throw Jay Boone super chat on screen. Let's go, Browns. Elijah Moore to Browns. F Pitt. Everyone for Jay Boone. F Pitt's in the chat one more time. Let's go, Browns, baby. I like it. We'll throw Elijah Moore's stats on screen because I'm seeing some chatter about what did Elijah Moore do last year from Rob V. And I get that's a fair, point to make. Cannonball first. Whew. Elijah Moore's stats, the last 2 seasons. Let's take a peek at them. If you take what he did in 11 games and prorated that over 17 in 2021, that's 800-plus yards and over 7 touchdowns. Now, I get it. We haven't actually seen that done before. But last year, sure, a dip, despite playing more games, there could be some concern right there. I think that's fair to have. But to you, I'll say, blame Matt LaFleur, right? Blame the Jets offensive coordinator who got fired for not putting together a good plan, also being dealt a bad hand of having to go back and forth between Zach Wilson and Mike White. So while the Jets spent so much of their energy last year trying to figure out the quarterback position, Elijah Moore kind of slipped through the cracks. And you know what? With Deshaun Watson and Kevin Stefanski and the Browns, people are going to look at this, and I think Elijah Moore is going to be great trivia one day of what team was he on before the Browns? Oh, I remember he got traded. He really took off with Cleveland. What was it again? Oh, yeah, it was the Browns, right? I think that's what you're going to see. You see that a lot in baseball, right? Miguel Cabrera before the Tigers. Wasn't he Marlin?
Marlin.
No one remembers that.
He was in the World Series, which I don't. They lost to the. No, did they?
No, they
win?
won. The
Yeah, they beat
Marlins
the
are 2-0.
Yankees.
The Marlins are the Marlins up until 2020 were the only team to never lose in the postseason.
Interesting.
They've gone twice. They won like every series.
Yeah, they beat the Yankees.
Yeah. They beat the Yankees in 2003.
Yes.
But I love this Elijah Moore trade because of what the super chat we got a moment ago. It's always something. Always balling. Nailed the nail on the head. But let's go. Fucking talking about Elijah Moore as a Cleveland Brown. Yes. Gary Yost. Your first super chat, Gary. Cheers to you. That's a dog bowl. Gary Yost, F Pitt, and Super F Baltimore. Go Browns. You know, that's what I love about the AFC North. If I could just take 30 seconds of your time and say this. Everyone hates each other so much. It's not like other divisions where teams sort of pair up. You know what I mean? Where it's like the NFC East, the Cowboys and the Giants. You know what I mean? Everyone all collectively hate each other a ton. Gary Yost, cheers to you in your first super chat. F Pitt and Super F Baltimore indeed. Let's go, Browns. Robert McPheron, I think the Browns will win at least 11 games this year. They should. 10-7 sounds like underachieving for the talent they have, but not just the talent they have, the cost it took to get them. Your payroll is big. You're paying Deshaun Watson $230 million guaranteed. That kind of money should not be 7 losses, right? You're paying Myles Garrett a first overall pick, so a lot of money and a big asset to be more than 10-7. I think the floor should be 11 wins in 2023 for the Browns. If they go 10-7, it will feel like, I'm trying to make a good analogy, but a coach who sort of gets some wins but dramatically underachieves. And it's like, yeah, you're good, but you could have been way better. Can you think of a coach like that, Rolly? Pro or college? That's like
Good, but could be better.
good, but should be way better.
Honestly, this might be a homer call because I'm a North Carolina football fan, but Mac Brown with North Carolina, like he gets all these good recruits, and they're like above average in the ACC, but they should win more. Like the fact they've lost to Georgia Tech 2 years in a row is a fucking joke.
Someone give me a better comp than fucking
That's a
Mac
good one. You asked me, coach or college or pro, and I told you.
Give me someone who dramatically underachieves with their roster, please. I can't think of one right now.
Nick Nurse with the Toronto Raptors right now.
Okay.
He was credited, and I'm going to come on screen for this one.
Like someone who, like, they fired their coach, new coach came in, they were way better. It's like, wow. Didn't realize how much they were underachieving before.
All right, so I'm going to
Cliff
go back.
Kingsbury is not a bad one.
I'm going to go back with my Nick Nurse comparison, and you look in the NBA, the Raptors have unbelievable talent. Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, OJ Anunoby, and Scotty Barnes, and Gary Trent Jr. That's an elite starting 5. They're 8th in the East. They stink. Nick Nurse was crowned like the best coach in the NBA a couple years ago when he won with Kawhi Leonard, put on his backpack. But now he stinks. Get him out of here.
Okay. Thank you for that TED Talk about the Toronto Raptors here, Rolly. Mike Zimmer's not a bad one. I like Mike Zimmer.
So you really just wanted NFL coaches?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I wanted football coaches.
You said any professional sport,
I wanted
college.
football coaches.
Oh, you know what's actually the correct answer here, but you will never get fired?
Who?
John Calipari.
That's a good one.
Bang.
Bang.
End on a bang.
End on a bang. More super chats, though. Shout out to Robert. Thank you so much for the super chat. Aaron Snyder. Wow, this move is sofa king awesome. That is one way to make an analogy. Yeah, it is sofa king awesome. It is, I think it's probably in that level of like Xbox game in your stocking. When you're like, that's not a stocking present. That's its own Christmas present, and I got it in my stocking. That's how good of a, it's not out of this world, right? If that was a trade for Jerry Jeudy, we would be going live for 24 hours. But it's really, really good stocking present. No, it's better than stocking present. I'll workshop it. Aaron, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you supporting the show. We're almost at $400. We got to get there now. Super chat menu if you want to help get us to $400 in super chats. Let's ride. Any amount at all, you get a shout out. We'll get you on screen. $2, give me the take. You can read the rest of the menu. You're not illiterate. Let's get to 400. We're $13 away. Who wants to be the one that pushes us across? If we get to $400, Dirty Dog Bowl. Beer and a little bit of Fireball because I've already agreed that I'm not driving home. So what's one more beer? Let's ride. Let's go Browns. Elijah Moore, you're a Cleveland Brown. I think another thing that's very important is you got to capitalize on Nick Chubb being on this roster. If you picked a rookie wide receiver, it might take them 3 years to be, year one's good, year two is solid, year three is he has arrived. By year three, Nick Chubb's off this roster most likely. So now you get year three with Elijah Moore, and you still have Nick Chubb, right? Because we know running backs, they can just fall off a cliff, unfortunately. That's just the nature of the game, right? No Vikings fan would have believed that Dalvin Cook should have been cut or traded 2 years ago. But now they're all begging for it. I don't want our sweet prince, Nick Chubb, to get there. But unfortunately, that's the life of running backs in the NFL. Scott, thank you. That means a lot to me. I've got Jesus on my side. Touchdown Jesus, baby. Ed O. Did he underachieve at LSU? Hey, he won an Natty.
He assembled the greatest offense in college football history.
That was a bad take. I'll keep thinking about it.
I think John Calipari, if any of you guys watch college hoops, the past 7 years from Kentucky basketball, I think that's a nail. I nailed him in the head.
Yeah, that's a good one here. Joe, let's go! Yes! $20 super chat from Joe Urbis. How about Joe? Okay, so now we're talking player comps. I like it. There we go. I know Roy doesn't know who this guy is, so I want to find the exact years, by the way. $20.
I thought he was just having another play on words for his own name.
No. He was
Joe
with the Browns.
Jurevicius.
Yeah. I didn't know he won a Super Bowl. Okay. Yeah, with the Browns from 06 to 08. He was with the Seahawks before then. He won a Super Bowl with the Bucks and with the Giants. Speaking of second round, he was a second-round pick too. So, Joe, wide receiver. Good time because it's very fitting with the Elijah Moore trade. Joe, you get Joe. That's a pretty good deal right there. $20 super chat pushes us over $400. That's what I'm talking about. That's a Dirty Dog Bowl. Shout out to you. Rolly, can you give some shout outs, please? While I get sugar and spices ready over here.
While he's getting beer and Fireball mixed together, he's going to have to end up chugging. So what I want you guys to do is start typing chug in the chat, and I'll give some shout outs. Start spamming the chugs in the chat.
Rob V. Rob, what team are you a fan of? Because I do appreciate your honesty in the chat.
I mean, this is as good as breakdown we've seen. You guys got a decent wide receiver. Elijah's good at beating zone, but horrendous against man. So I think you're overestimating Elijah's value a bit. But as you get the chug, we got Browns fan called Zone. Jake Heath. Rob says he's a Jets fan. So he's objective in that department. Keith. Dave Rowe. Ty Man the Buckeye. Mike.
Ooh, that's a bit harsh. Okay. There we go.
You good there?
Yeah, we're good there. Good there. We did it. I like the insider. I honestly do appreciate when a player gets traded or a player gets signed. I do value the input from the fan of the previous team, right? Yeah, I've gotten a bit carried away today. They didn't necessarily trade for Jerry Rice, but I think they did pick up a good player. But I definitely don't want to get too drunk on Elijah Moore being an all-pro wide receiver, which maybe at times I did try and speak into existence.
What do you mean that Elijah Moore is not the next Jerry Rice?
Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't make any sense.
Scorpions here. Let's go. Yes. Speaking of Joes, my dad faced him in high school and said he was a man among boys, great player and great man. I don't know if I wish I got to play high school football against someone who went to the NFL, so I could know what it was like to actually see NFL talent in its high school stages.
So, I'm from Rochester, New York, and there's not a ton of NFL talent out there. The best player I've ever witnessed playing against is his name is Jake Zembak. He was a third-string quarterback for Penn State his entire career. So that's as good as a talent I've seen.
I know. I never got to see
third-string Penn State quarterback. Cool. Went to Penn State, but never got above third string and was basically a coach at the end of his career.
I played against a defensive tackle who went to Michigan State and was a UDFA.
Okay.
That was my peak.
There was a guy who went to Oregon as a running back, Seven McGee. I never played against him, but he didn't get too much PT. He now transferred to Jackson State.
Scorpion with another super chat. Let's go, Scorpion. We got a player comp for Scorpion, too, I think.
I'll flash it after this.
Throw it on that screen afterwards. My godfather also faced Jason Taylor in college. So you got to have some family, some good...
Where are you from? Where are these people coming out of?
Scorpion's from Ohio. I think he's from the Cleveland area. Scorpion, thank you so much for the super chat. You're the man. You know you're a legend here at the channel.
Oh, he's Amari Cooper.
He's Amari Cooper. You know why?
Why?
Can I tell you why? He's fucking consistent, this guy. This guy gets the damn job done. 3rd and 7, what do you need? A first down. 3rd and 14, what do you need? A big play.
That's a clean
That's
pick.
where Scorpion comes in big. That's Amari Cooper. And Amari Cooper is going to love lining up in the huddle, looking to his left, looking to his right. DPJ, Elijah Moore, Deshaun Watson, Nick Chubb, and one of the best offensive lines in football. Let's go, fuck. Let's go. Let's go, Browns. Let's go, Browns. Let's go, Browns, baby. Yes. Elijah Moore, you're a Cleveland Brown. And you're going to love it, baby. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. AFX Apocalypse. Petey, you could have gone pro if it was not for your injury. You want to hear a funny story?
I was going to actually ask you when the high school football conversation got brought up. Did you play high school football, 1, and 2, what was your position?
I played freshman year of high school football. I was the right tackle. And I remember this. I retired after my freshman year. I wanted to join the student radio station to do the broadcast for the games. And I remember going up to my high school football coach, acting like him losing me would be a big deal. Dude, I was a swing tackle on the B team. Looking back, I don't think Coach Taylor gave a shit.
Where are you from again?
Chicago area.
You never played D1 talent?
No.
How is that possible? They kind of just put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, nothing.
That's not possible.
Not possible.
I'll say this. I actually retired in 8th grade. Mm-hmm. I was right guard.
I played 2 years of football. I played middle school, and I played middle school and then 1 year of high school football.
Yeah, I'm a basketball and baseball player, so I quit football because I didn't like being a right guard on the offensive line, and I wanted to play those other 2 sports. If I was tight end, I would have stayed playing. It's just too boring being an offensive lineman. I don't want to get my head pounded in every single play and get no reward.
All right, let's throw our super chat menu on screen as English starts to become a little bit more difficult for me. We're at $414. Joe, I know you've done a lot of heavy lifting today, but if you can get us to $500, or if anyone could for that matter, I'm trying to think here what would be an appropriate. A what? Another shot. $500. Dirty Dog Bowl, and another shot fun race all in one. I think that's appropriate, right? What do you got? Knicks? Okay, we'll put a 15-minute timer, and then we'll call it. That's fine. AFX Apocalypse. I do not ignore you. I do not ignore anyone. I do my best. Rob, thank you for tuning in. I love it.
Scorpion says, how far away, I think he said?
We are
$85?
$85 away.
Quick
$85 away. Good math on our part right
there. See you, Rob V. Thanks for that comment.
Let's throw the Elijah Moore trade on, and then I want to run through the stats a little bit to kind of try and get ourselves back on track of, what the live show is all about. Browns get Elijah Moore and a third-round pick. Jets get a 2023 second-round pick, number 42 overall. I've had some libations. And ultimately, the Browns move back 32 spots and get Elijah Moore. Here's my question for you. Would you rather have Elijah Moore or pick a wide receiver at 42? That's kind of the big question here. Which one would you rather do? Elijah Moore or pick a wide receiver at 42? I think that Elijah Moore is not at a level of a player where if you pick the option B, draft a wide receiver at 42, blast you into the sun, that's a horrible take. But I think for the Browns, they weren't in the business of waiting or hoping on pick 42 being a good player. They wanted to get someone that they knew something about. And draft picks, bit of a lottery, right? That's what I love to say. And I keep saying it because I keep wanting to reminding people of that. So for the Browns, they wanted to get something or get someone they knew about. And Elijah Moore has 2 years of tape, and they know, and I'm sure Stefanski before this trade spent days or weeks looking over tape and film to see, hey, this is someone who could fit well in our offense, right? This is someone who I think, if used correctly, can exponentially grow their stats. So for that reason, let's pull the trigger, Andrew. Get it done. Figure out the draft compensation. But as a coach, I'm telling you, if we get Elijah Moore, I will make him work in Cleveland. Tim Green with a $20 super chat. Watching Matt do the Bronco chat really hurt. Feel like I caught my wife in bed with multiple partners. Please tell us you're a true brownie and not just some floozy. Listen, I get this question, I would say decently often, but not rarely. Yeah, at Chat Sports, we're up to 20 people right now. Biggest we've ever been, of course. And hosts have to cover multiple teams at times, either during transitions, if people are coming and going out of the company, which doesn't happen very often, but once in a blue moon, or as we just continue to grow. So I am definitely someone that is viewed as a flexible piece. I help out on other channels. I help those channels grow. So hopefully the company can grow, and boom, we can hire more people, and I can do what I want to do. And that's hang out with you guys all day long. So I hope that answers the second half of your question, Tim Green. I can't go into too much detail just because the bosses are kind of hawks, and they're definitely going to watch this, and we'll have a conversation about it later. But at the end of the day, yeah, I do have to sometimes help out in other channels, but my heart is with the dog pound. I'll put it this way. I've got 3 jerseys in our changing room, and they only belong to one team. Tim Green, thank you for the super chat. You're the man. I do appreciate the analogy you made.
AFX,
a little bit shaggy.
AFX, what did the Falcons do to you, man?
Falcons is another one where help growing that channel. Hopefully we can get a full-time Falcons host, and he can do that work because I don't want to.
AFX hating on PD being a Falcons host sometimes.
I just help out elsewhere. I did a Commanders video like 2 days ago, or 3 days ago about Daniel Snyder selling the team.
Good, bad?
I actually never went back and saw how the video did.
That's
Cannonball time. Cannonball. Cannonball coming. That's a fireball shot. Let's go. AFX Apocalypse. He's just having fun in the chat. I know him well. Don't worry. Appreciate you, Scorpion. You guys are the best. You guys ready for this? I even had to do a Patriots video yesterday about.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, I know. 4-minute video about Jerry Jeudy potentially going to New England because it was the Browns and the Patriots in on Jeudy, which this is a good kind of like segue to Elijah Moore. You're a Cleveland Brown. Jerry Jeudy, you're not going to be a Cleveland Brown, right? This kills the idea of I think the Browns making any more big splash trades. Could they make another trade? Yeah, I don't say anything definitively with Andrew Berry, knowing the type of GM he is, but I do think we can say a lot more confidently the Browns are probably going to lay low now until the draft. And that's fine, right? They've done a lot of great stuff this offseason so far. They have accomplished a ton. Jay Boone with a $5 super chat. Let's go. Last place to first place. Great offseason. You know, Jay Boone, you raise a great point because could you pull up the NFL standings, Rolly, on your computer? just from last year, please. Every single year in the NFL, we have a team go from last to worst. No, from last to first and from first to worst. Let's spend until you have to go to the Knicks or Giants or whatever it is, talking about this for a second, because I think Jay Boone's Super Chat's a great point here. Okay, awesome. Cheers to you, Jay Boone.
All right, so I got the standings pulled up from each division.
Seeps and I love to do this.
Okay.
Who is going to go from first to worst? Because it does happen often. It's not out of bounds in the NFL. Go through our 8 division winners here really quickly.
Well, I'll start in the AFC. Are you talking about last to first or first to last?
We're going to do both.
Okay,
So from first to worst, who do you think could fall from top to bottom?
I don't think it could be anyone in the AFC.
Give me them.
Being the Bills.
No, they're not going to be them.
Chiefs.
Nope.
Bengals.
Nope.
Jaguars.
Probably not.
I mean, that division is
So
horrid.
the NFC.
So we have to switch to the NFC. Eagles.
I don't think it's out of the... They've lost a lot in free agency, and every other team's gotten better, it feels like.
1% chance if Sam Howell is
How
him,
about this?
which he is.
More likely Eagles than any AFC team.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right, 49ers. Probably not.
Dude, who's their quarterback?
Dude, the Rams and Cardinals are in that division.
Okay, fine.
Here's the one that's really intriguing.
Give me it.
The Vikings.
Dude, they won a ton of one-score games.
Oh, no, here's the actual
You ready?
answer.
I don't know what the Packers are going to do, but just imagine Jordan Love is him. The Bears got a lot done this offseason, and the Lions are on the come-up.
Yeah.
Maybe the Vikings regress big time.
But here's the correct answer, and it is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, yes, they will go from first to worst.
The Saints with Derek Carr will be better. My Falcons will be better.
With Desmond Ridder.
And, hey, maybe rookie
Quarterback, Panthers.
C.J. Stroud.
Just wins one more game
Yeah.
than Kyle Trask.
So,
Or Baker, actually. So, okay, so now I need last, for Jay Boone, last place, worst to first.
We'll start
in the NFC.
We'll start in the NFC South again. The Falcons technically finished last with tiebreakers.
I don't think that's impossible,
It's
but I
not
don't
out
think
of
it's
the
very
realm.
likely. I think the Saints are a better chance of that.
NFC North, the Bears, not
Impossible.
crazy.
But not maybe the most likely option.
Cardinals in the NFC West.
No, they won't have
Put that
Kyler
one
for
to
half
bed.
the year.
The Commanders, unless Sam Howell is him, which he is. Probably not, though.
Probably not them. So go to the AFC now.
The Jets in the East. Listen, if Rodgers returns
If Rodgers
to form,
goes there, yeah, okay. I can buy into it.
the Broncos in the West. I
don't think so.
Imagine them passing the Chiefs.
Just, no one's ever going to pass the Chiefs. The
All right,
Chiefs will never stop winning the AFC West.
Have the North wait for last.
Yeah.
We'll go to the South. The Texans, I
Nope.
don't see them being better than the Jaguars. And then,
The Browns.
could the Browns do it?
Dude, I think the Browns are the most likely worst to first team of all 8 possibilities. Would you disagree with that?
Yeah, I think
Like, would you agree with that? I mean,
it would either be, to me, I think the Browns are up there or the Jets.
Yeah,
Those
those
are the
seem like-
two that I think is the most likely. So, Browns or Jets
Yeah.
are the most likely to do
makes
it.
the most sense to me. I like it. Tim Green, I love the Lions. Browns-Lions Super Bowl would be a classic. America deserves that.
America wouldn't know who to root for.
Dude, it'd be the ultimate, like, shit bowl.
It would
of, like,
be
franchise history.
It would be one of the Super Bowls, maybe for the first time in history, if you take away Lions fans and Browns fans, that people would legitimately not have a clue who to root for because everyone has an agenda to push.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the Lions and Browns, unless like you're a rival team, what kind of agenda could you push? Like, the Brady lovers can't root against Mahomes. The Mahomes lovers can't root against Brady, even though he retired. Like, take away division rivals, non-fans of those two teams, they'd be so split on who to root for.
Aphex Apocalypse, how did you find my middle name? That's a bit concerning. Also, spell Matthew correctly, please.
You're not.
No, the one
Oh,
T
he's
drives
missing
me
a T.
nuts.
He's missing a T.
Okay.
Low
We're
T
at
from
$439 in Super Chats. Hey, if we get $10 Super Chat, we'll do another Dirty Dog Bowl. How about that? Get to $450. That's a nice even number. Technically, $10.08 away. So, Shaylin, what the fuck?
Wait, what happened?
Shay out of me.
Oh no.
Shay's
Oh, I think I was here on stream when she did that.
Oh, she said my name?
I think we were guessing middle names.
I missed that part of the chat right there. Let's throw the trade back on screen, and then I want to go through the stats one more time of Elijah Moore, a Cleveland Brown. Feels good, right? I'm trying to find different spin zone or takes to give you guys so that it's not just recycled opinions on things. But I really like a previous super chat we got about, do you like Elijah Moore more than any pick you could have at 42? Because here's a good point I think we should make. We went through the 4 guys that will be gone in round 1 guaranteed. Jordan Addison, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Zay Flowers, Quentin Johnson. You're not picking at 32. You're not picking first in round 2. Good chance Jalen Hyatt and or Josh Downs goes before them. So if both those guys are gone, Rolly, and everyone watching, dude, now you're looking around, you're like, really wish we did that Elijah Moore trade. And if you're making a draft day trade for Elijah Moore, the Jets know you're desperate. And you want to know what this trade actually ends up looking like if you do this in April during the second day of the draft? It's Browns get Elijah Moore in the 3rd round pick. The Jets get a 2nd and a 5th. Probably, right? The Jets know they have you by the balls. They just saw 6 receivers go off the board before you, and they know you're screwed. We'll ask for another pick, and you won't say no because that's your only option. So for that, I don't hate the trade. I like it. I do like the trade. I'll love it probably later, but I like this trade a lot. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. We are $11 away from $450 in Super Chats. Dirty Dog Bowl waiting for you guys. If we reach that, who's going to be the lucky person or the kind person? Lucky's the wrong word. To get us to that amount, Super Chat menu for you guys today. We've already had some Browns player comps. Can we run through all the Browns player comps we have? Just start from top to bottom. See if we got anyone watching right now that just wants to, put their, nuts in a wheelbarrow here. We got Bronny D with Paul Kruger. I love it. Brown Tiger. Haven't seen him in a minute for today at least. Joe Hayden. Jeff Rubin. Scorpion. I know we got a Scorpion one. Throw Scorpions. Scorpion, just a second here. Amari Cooper with an $11 Super Chat. Joe! Oh! A $61 Super Chat! Yes! Let's go!
We start with
Yes! Let's fucking go! Bingo!
And then
here we go, Brownies! Here we go! Woo! Woo! Here we go, Brownies! Here we go! Woo! Woo! Scorpion and Joe! Team on their back! And that! Yes! Let's go! Woo! I'm ready. Pass that Coors Latte, please. Yeah, you want to do the race? Yeah. I'll do the Dirty Dog Bowl and the race. Let's get fucked up tonight. Here we go. Producer Coop sliding in. Thank you very much, buddy. Producer Coop is relieving Rolly of his duties because he's got to go help out elsewhere.
I'm here.
But Producer Coop, low-key, my best friend in Chat Sports. So
Love
it
that.
worked out pretty well.
Yes,
Worked out pretty well.
we love each other.
Coop and I have a bromance going. Okay, I owe a Dirty Dog Bowl, and we'll do a shot fun race between Rolly and I in just a moment. He's going to get the beers right now. AFX Apocalypse, what's a fan of Coop of? He's from Dallas, so he's a Cowboys guy. And don't worry, he's just a Cowboys guy.
I promise.
I promise, yeah, I know. Like, I don't blame the viewers for being, like, distorted.
No, of course.
When it's like, well, you do 1 or 2? Like, what's that mean? But it's just like, we're not ESPN. We're not a major media conglomerate, but we got to grow our channels to get to that status.
Of course.
So you got to help out elsewhere at times. But
We grind.
We grind, baby. We grind. Here we go.
He said, boo, Cowboys, no offense. None taken.
Dude.
The Cowboys kind of stink.
You know what? The Cowboys last year I thought would regress majorly for doing nothing in the offseason
And they really didn't.
and losing Cooper and Gregory, but they got better,
They,
right?
I don't know if they got better, but they made it to
they
the
won a
second
playoff
round.
game.
Yeah. And I think they've been aggressive this offseason. So
Yeah. Cannibal.
Cannonball! Cannonball coming! Let's go. Down the hatch.
Right down.
Rolly's coming back. Shot fun race incoming.
Shot fun race indeed.
Before Rolls moves on, he has things to do, people to see, places to go.
He's a cool guy. We're lucky to have his time for as long as we have.
True.
Rolly, tough guy to get a hold of on the weekends.
CD putting out these false.
Rolly likes to shadow ban us during the weekend. That's true.
Talking about.
We're all best friends outside of work.
It's
too,
true.
and,
Here's the thing. Coop is shadow banning us. He won't watch the Xavier Texas March Madness
I'm
on Friday.
a Texas Longhorns
Doesn't
fan.
matter. Shadow ban.
We play in the Sweet 16 against Xavier.
My favorite thing, though, is I host trivia every Tuesday at a bar
True.
just across the street, and both Rolly and producer Coop come by. They play for the whole game.
We do.
And it's life or death during trivia.
No doubt.
Yesterday,
Yeah.
I was not really involved in trivia.
Yeah, that's
It was
okay.
more
It
of a
happens.
There was some drama yesterday.
Yeah, we had some drama.
I would-
Fucking Trace. All right, here we go. Cheers. You ready?
We're touching tech.
Everyone type chug. Let's go. Spam chug in the chat. Here we go. I think Matthew's going to win because Rolly got a late start. Oh my God, Rolly smoked him. Rolly got the late start and still smoked him. Took it to the dome.
Wait upstairs.
No timer from Petey. Slimy move.
I would have counted down, but
No, I wanted a blitzkrieg you.
you did blitzkrieg.
Yeah.
That was good. You still lost though.
No, I know. My parents
That's a
are right
shame.
now. My parents are in Berlin right now.
Really?
On like a whole.
I thought they were in Egypt.
Dude, they left Egypt.
Wow.
And I know they're in Germany now doing like a Cold War tour.
That's pretty cool.
like a 10-day tour.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. That's what happens when you retire in your 50s.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sorry for the loud noises. Oh, that's brutal.
Woo! We're back on track. We're back here. I mean, I like AFX Apocalypse. We'll take a quick deviation here. Trade CD Lamb for a fifth. Ignore trading CD Lamb. How about the Cowboys? Tim fucking Green!
Let's go!
Let's go! Yes! Tim Green, baby! That's what I'm talking about! Yes! Let's go, Browns! Tim Green! Can I have Eddie Johnson as my Browns player, please? Number 51, the Assassin! Yes, you can, Tim Green. Done deal. Tomorrow, live show. We'll have it ready for you, Tim Green. You know that you are a staple of the channel.
Let's
It's
go,
funny.
Tim.
We're just talking about Egypt. That looks like Egypt in his picture right there.
That does look like Egypt.
Looks pretty Egyptian to me. Tim Green, you're a Browns
Let's go, Tim.
MVP. Let's go, Browns, baby. That's a dirty dog bowl. Woo! Let's go, Browns.
So I've missed, obviously, the show. I just got here.
I think it's actually a good point then. If you missed the show, do you want to run through some of the Elijah Moore graphics in case someone else just tuned in?
I would love to.
Start with the trade and then go through the stats.
Let's do it. All right. So as you know,
Dirty dog bowl.
the Browns did trade for Elijah Moore from the New York Jets. As I pop the trade up on the screen. Browns receive Elijah Moore and a third for the Jets' second.
When I first read this, by the way, I thought it was Elijah Moore for a second and a third. And then
That would have been crazy.
Then I would have rioted, right? But Elijah Moore, when we look at his career stats, I think if you're a bit skeptic, is that a word?
Skeptical?
Skeptical, thank you. You can see why, right? 984 yards and 6 touchdowns in 2 seasons, and pick 42 is gone for that guy. But look at what he did his rookie year. 538 yards, 5 touchdowns. If you've watched this whole show, you know what I'm about to say next. In just 11 games, I cannot wait to see what that looks like over the course of a full season with an actual quarterback in Deshaun Watson and not some bum like Joe Flacco filling in, although he skull fucked us last year. I'm not going to lie. That was... Okay, how different would the Browns season have been if the Jets don't recover that onside kick? Cleveland finished 7-10. Automatically, we go from 7-10 to 8-9. I got to envision there might have been one more win out there.
100%.
Right, the momentum.
Yeah, domino effect.
Domino effect, thank you. So you go from 8-9 to 9-8. If you're 9-8, you could be 10-7. You could be in the playoffs with Deshaun Watson.
You maybe win the Super Bowl. People are talking.
I mean, parade down Euclid, everything. That would have been an elite. I love it. I love it. So Elijah Moore, though, I get it. Maybe the stats, just the eyeball test, the numbers don't look like someone that looks like worthy of losing a second-round pick for. But I'm telling you, Elijah Moore plus a third, you're going to feel
I think it's worth
pretty good about this offense. Deshaun Watson, I think this is the big point Andrew Berry is trying to make right now. What is Andrew Berry telling us? He wants to win with Nick Chubb on this roster. And he knows the window with Chubb being a top 5 running back is unfortunately closing, as that is just the case for all running backs in the NFL this day and age. Zeke, he's not even 30. In fact, he's not even close to 30.
He's super washed.
He's 26.
And he's done.
And he's done. You don't want Chubb to be that next year. So you want to capitalize on having so many players in their prime right now. Maybe it's a bit of an overpay to get more and move back 32 spots. But if it is, who gives a shit, right? You had to get this wide receiver room correct. And it needed speed. And Elijah Moore ran a 4.35 in the 40 in the combine before his rookie season. That's serious speed right there. So for the Browns, they get their guy, if you will. They didn't get Jerry Jeudy. They didn't get Brandon Cooks. But if this is what Elijah Moore went for, I ask you this. Would you rather have done that, or would you rather have gotten Jerry Jeudy but lost Greg Newsome? Jerry Jeudy would have been fun. Don't get me wrong.
Would have been great.
But keeping Newsome and getting more might be the sneaky better option after all.
Do you feel...
Especially, by the way, Elijah Moore, 22. 3 years younger than me. 4 years younger than you.
I'm 27 now.
Yeah, so you start in February.
Yeah.
5 years younger than Coop. Like, unbelievable.
Are you sad that the Browns don't have a draft pick now until the 3rd round?
It will make April a bit boring. Let's just be honest
It
about
will.
that. You don't have a first, that's already a bit boring. And then you don't have a second, it's like, damn, now we're really waiting a while. I don't see the Browns trading up. But I think the Browns are probably like, you know what? We like our roster. We're not dependent on a rookie impact player. And they got Martin Emerson at pick 68 last year. So, like...
He was pretty good last year, right?
He was a great player for the Browns last year. So, if you get the right guy, you could find an impact player at 74. Right?
For sure.
You could. So...
You can find starters in round 2 and 3.
Yes, you absolutely... Great point. So... It'll be up to Andrew Berry, who 2020, 2021, 2022, 3 years of drafting. What's his best pick in 3 years of drafting, do we think? Donovan Peoples-Jones in round 6? For like value and talent?
Go blue.
Probably him. Easy words here. Probably him. Jedrick Wills. No, I'll probably go him, Greg Newsome, Jedrick Wills. Like, not home run picks if we're being frank about this thing. But he's got to get it right this year. You know what I mean? He's got to get it right. He's got to get it right.
I feel
Got to
that.
get it right. Mike Hall, I like it. Matthew, have a question. If Browns win the Super Bowl, will you be in Cleveland for the biggest show on earth? If the Browns win the Super Bowl,
You're going to Cleveland.
I'm not just going to Cleveland. I'm never getting off a live show ever again.
Ever?
We'll go from the final whistle till probably
Death?
kickoff week 1 next year.
Okay.
You know
I
what
like
mean?
that.
6-month live show straight. I'll live in the studio. You watch me sleep. You know, we kind of like those like baby cams of like
Yeah.
the eggs about to hatch.
So
That will happen. If the Browns win the Super Bowl, I'm doing a pole
Idea.
plunge out of fun. And yes, I will be in Cleveland for the parade, for live shows daily. That's just something I can't even begin to wrap my mind around.
So I've seen this on TikTok before, where people will be live while they're sleeping, and people can super chat in, and it'll alert them and wake them up.
That's weird.
So maybe we do that.
I like that. Yeah.
You're sleeping,
Super
super chat
chat,
$10,
wake me up.
get an alert, you're up.
Where did Patrick go? Where's the Vikings boy? Today just kind of was an awkward schedule day because he got the green light. Clap it up for him. He got to his first Vikings live show in a while.
Let's go, Seeps.
So that was today, unfortunately.
What's up? Yeah, we're great.
Yeah, so it was just bad timing. Otherwise, Seeps probably would have been here. But props to Seeps. He's been working hard.
I've been
Grinding
shadow
that
banned from
Vikings
Browns.
Channel. We haven't had it in a while on this channel. Okay, here we go. Scorpion, he cheated on us. I like it. We're at $561. Coop, what do you want to offer? If you want to offer anything to get us to 600.
I'll take a couple shots for some 600.
There we go. Couple shots. That's plural. I heard an S
Yeah.
at the end.
TS.
Yeah. So shots for Coop, and I'll do another shot fun, and that will definitely send me over the limit. But I don't give a damn. The Browns.
Are you
just got
sober right
Elijah
now?
Moore. Nope. I probably already decided in my head. Texas Roadhouse for dinner.
Wait, really?
I'm very excited. I think so.
That's electric.
If Texas Roadhouse for dinner, if we get $600 in subs.
Shay's driving.
Yes. Shay's absolutely. No doubt about it.
Does she know this?
No, she's not even here right now, I don't think. Let's see. No, I haven't heard from her in a minute.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. She might be mad at me. I hope not. Okay, here we go. So then, for a second here, we got 192 people watching, hanging out with us. What do the Browns do now at pick 74? That's their first draft pick. I stated earlier, best player available. In Coop, he's a big college football guy.
True.
If we zoom in a little bit on 74, still like best player available. Conveniently, position-wise, I'd like it to be linebacker. Jack Campbell from Iowa. He's been a popular name. Coop, do you know any linebackers? In like 2 to 3? I'm not trying to put you in the spot or anything.
The only one
That
I really
jumps out
know
to you know what I mean?
is because I'm a Texas fan. DeMarvion Overshone. I don't think he's in that range
Is he
though.
going to be a Cleveland Brown?
He might be. He's big sideline to sideline.
Oh, if you say
Make-
sideline to sideline, that makes, Todd McShay and Mel Kiper just
Very athletic.
Yeah.
Makes lots of tackles. Not sure he has awareness and great football IQ,
Okay.
but I think he could fit well with the Browns.
We're not drafting Stetson Bennett.
Stetson Bennett is a Cleveland Brown.
If he's a Cleveland Brown, I am screwed. No, I'll tell you why. Josh Dobbs signing kills Stetson Bennett.
You need 3 QBs.
You got Kellen Mond.
Oh, Mond's still on the roster?
Yeah, Mond's still on the
okay.
roster. He's still got 2.
Then you're good.
Yeah, you're fine.
You're safe.
Yeah. So no, we're good. We're good. He was claimed off waiver, so his contract carries over. He's still got like 2 more years left. He's the practice squad quarterback with Josh Dobbs signing. So thankfully, I actually didn't even consider that. Stetson Bennett now to the Browns.
Off the table.
Not gonna it's off the table. If he does not get drafted, champagne.
You know he's getting drafted.
He's not gonna get drafted.
He's getting drafted.
I hope not. Tim Green, I like Leonard Floyd from the Rams. Not happening now. Yeah, I think you can rule out any Browns signing over $5 million a season. They've spent a good chunk of change. They signed Anthony Walker today. It's probably just not happening anymore.
Now, forgive me if I'm broaching subjects we've already talked about on today's Browns Report by Chat Sports. That's Tyler, I believe. What are the chances of a reunion with one Odell Beckham Jr.?
Go to photos.
Okay,
Go to the bottom one.
gotcha.
What are the chances? Not 0. So that's something, right? When the chances are not 0, we have Myles Garrett responding to someone on Instagram.
Oh,
Myles,
okay.
get OBJ's ass back here immediately, brother. Garrett said, I'm working on it.
Well then,
It's not 0. It's something.
does the trade for Moore impact that?
Yes. Right? It alleviates the need at wide receiver. You could. I don't think if. The
Well,
Browns,
I think. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying that if the Browns really wanted OBJ, I don't think trading for Moore would get in the way if they really felt that would push them over the edge. If they're like, hey, it's not like we're a perfect room, right? Cooper, OBJ, DPJ, and Moore. But I'm guessing that probably takes them out of their running as serious contenders. But I think the only way they end up with OBJ now is if OBJ's market is like, hey, I'm worth $20 million. And then the NFL tells him,
He's
nah, we think you're worth 15. He goes, okay. And no one offers him 15. He's like, I'm worth 12. And the NFL market says, actually, we want to pay you 10. Well, the Browns might kind of re-enter the chat if they're like, well, we thought you were 20, and we just removed ourselves because we can't do that.
But at 10, we're
But
back
at 10,
in.
We're back in now. You know what I mean? So if the Browns re-enter at 10, whatever that number is, and OBJ then decides, you know what? I've got 3 teams calling at 10. The 3 teams are the Browns, the Cowboys, and the Ravens. Well, the Ravens, in this fictional scenario, don't have Lamar Jackson anymore. I don't want to go play in Baltimore with God knows who at quarterback.
He doesn't want to be there.
So now I'm down to the Browns and the Cowboys. Dallas is pretty tempting as a city compared to Cleveland, if we're just being honest about it. But if he feels that Deshaun Watson's better than Dak Prescott and has a better chance to win a Super Bowl, maybe he picks the Browns then.
I also think
It's kind of like my best path to making it happen.
I also think he would get more targets in Cleveland over Dallas. Because he would be clearly wide receiver 3 in Dallas, whereas in Cleveland, probably number 2.
I think he'd be 2 in Dallas, right? It'd be CeeDee Lamb, him, Brandon Cooks.
I don't know.
You might get, Brandon Cooks would get a good share. Like, Brandon Cooks versus DPJ, who's going to get more targets? Probably Cooks. But in Cleveland, he's clear-cut. Number 1 or 2 is right there with Amari Cooper on the outside. So, we got that going for us there.
We love that.
Yeah. 200 people watching, $561 in Super Chats. Just shout out to everyone who's Super Chatted so far. Made this show so much fun for Elijah Moore coming to the Browns. Let's try and get to 600. If not, you know what? No sweat, no harm, no foul. Shout out to everyone who's helped out today for making this an excellent live show. AFX Apocalypse, draft Jaron Hall. That's the BYU quarterback. Just shout out to Jamal Williams. I feel like every 3 years, the story resurfaces that Jamal Williams got kicked out of BYU for having sex.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's always just fun. You know what I mean?
The funny thing is I didn't know that until I saw it last week.
Dude, I've seen it
It's
3
crazy.
separate times in different, probably a total of 6 years.
It's crazy.
You know, every 2 years, it's like someone brings it up. You know, Jamal Williams got kicked out of BYU for drinking alcohol and having sex or something? I was like, yeah, I saw it 2 years ago.
Does that make him more draftable?
Dude, you went to BYU.
And you're fucking?
And you're fucking. I like it. All right. If we don't get a super chat, and we'll say the next 3 minutes, I'll extend the shot clock.
We just got one.
Jonathan Mann says, "Put your freaking phone down, Petey. I got a super chat coming
Hang up
your
and hang
way."
out.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look this one up. Draft Ron Mexico.
No, don't look that up.
I was like, which Ron Mexico?
I think that's on the Orange and Black website.
Okay, I'm not gonna look it up.
Don't look it up.
At least not on my work computer. Jonathan, thank you for the super chat. I won't look up Ron Mexico because it sounded like a major porn star name right there. So that's something. It's kind of like, what's his face? Evan Fournier.
Yeah, don't Google Fournier.
Don't Google Fournier. Not pretty. Not pretty. Ty Man the Buckeye, keep those super chats going.
Do we have a lot of Cavs fans in the chat?
Yeah. Speaking of Ty Man the Buckeye, CJ Stroud, very impressive at his pro day today. I read about that. Cavs fans, though, Coop's a big Mavs fan. Are the Mavs going to make the playoffs?
We'll see. Big game against the Warriors tonight.
Why is it we'll see? Where are they right now?
We are in 8th. If we win tonight, we are in 6th.
Okay.
So,
Are
big game.
Are the Warriors going to make? Is it win or go home?
This isn't win. This is win or be in the play-in.
Oren says go Cavs. I love it. I don't know. If I'm being honest with you guys, I used to love the NBA. I fell out of love with it about 6 years ago when it was so player over team driven. And that's what it is
feel
now.
ya.
And the NBA just embodied that, and they're like, you should be fans of Giannis and Luka and Steph, not about teams. And I never liked that. I like teams, not players.
I'm with you.
So that's why I'm like, it doesn't get as much attention as it used to do for me, at least. Petey, that's funny. How will Elijah Moore's trade affect LeBron's legacy? I'm going to switch that question to this. If the Browns win a Super Bowl, is the quarterback of that Browns team a more Cleveland legend than LeBron James?
I think so, and it's not even close.
It's NFL.
Yeah.
NFL's king. If you win a Super Bowl for the Cleveland Browns, That's
Look,
hard to picture in Madden.
LeBron has opened schools. He has done so much for the city of Cleveland.
And Akron, yep.
If Deshaun Watson wins a Super Bowl, he is a bigger star in Cleveland than LeBron James.
I think so.
He is.
That's a fact. It's just because that's how much bigger football is. Right? That's really what's carrying the weight here. Is that football is just that much bigger than the NBA. So, I think so. Curious what you guys have to say. $563. If we don't get to $570, which we're $7 away from in the next 2 minutes, we'll wrap up today's live show. Put the stopwatch on. Timer's on here. Hard to see. That's okay. 2 minutes to get us to $570 to keep the live stream going. Otherwise, time to let producer Coop go home because he is staying after hours to hang out with us. So I don't want to keep him on too late if we don't have to. But you know what? Browns get Elijah Moore. They move back 32 spots in the draft. Did you like Elijah Moore or a potential receiver at 42? That's the question you got to ask yourself. And the big thing is, like, you don't know for sure who would be there at 42.
For me, it's always better to get the proven NFL player over the unproven rookie, right?
I do agree that the draft is always viewed as this, like, ultimate time to potentially reset, like, get a bunch of great players.
Doesn't never really works out that way.
Pick any NFL team and pick any draft year. Pick a random NFL team. Go, Coop.
Chargers.
2016 draft. See what they did. Good chance they picked 7 or 8 guys. Good chance 3 of them got a second contract with that team. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, the draft's just a crapshoot. You know what Elijah Moore is. The only upside of the draft, like outside of knowing proven commodities, is the rookie contract for that many years. If you nailed a wide receiver at 42, even if he was the same level as
Herman!
Elijah Moore, Herman's here! Joe! Wow!
Yeah, we're good.
Joe, get us over! Herman Turrington!
Let's go!
Browns! And Joe!
Let's go!
Cleveland is Brownstown. I love it, Joe. You are by far the MVP of today's show. Bow down to you. Everyone spam Joe in the chat right now for being the MVP of the show. Let's go, Brownies. Let's go, Joe. That's what I'm talking about. Joe. Herman Turrington. We've got go to photos. Find the Herman one. Dog bowl for Herman.
Cannibal coming. Herman, I'm trying to find your photo.
Is it there? I think it is.
I don't see a Herman photo.
Oh, if it's not there, it's not there. It should be in alphabetical order.
No Herman.
Okay, no Herman. I'm sorry, Herman. I blue balled you. But Joe, Cleveland is Brownstown. That's just the beauty of the NFL. It just is. It just is. Like, the Cavs parade gets X amount. The Browns parade gets 3X.
Fact.
Right? Fact or fiction? Fact. Joe, shout out to you.
My man.
Thank you for the super chats all day long. You've been the MVP. You are Elijah Moore. I think we found Elijah Moore. I think he's that excited about being in Cleveland Brown. He's like, who's talking about me? Oh, the Browns Report by Chat Sports with Matthew Peterson?
I think I owe a couple shots.
Let's go. You do. You did say that.
Do you just want to give me the fireball?
Yeah.
I'll just pull it straight.
Okay. Can you do that, please? Because I kind of need it. There's a shot glass behind your computer.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
I kind of need a bit of a breather right now.
I got you.
Whew.
As we poured this Fire BZ, which brings me memories of college that I don't like.
Producer Coop,
Cheers.
Shout out to you.
And I did say shots, correct? Plural?
I love this. All those super chats are your moms.
What is that mean?
How many moms do you think I have though? Like,
He has one mom.
I've got one mother. Her name is Melanie. She's currently in Germany right now.
She's a saint.
If 6:09 Central, 7:09 Eastern, it's probably like 3 a.m.
No.
in Berlin. I'll be honest, she's not up.
I can tell you what time it is. It is 1:09.
She's not a big football fan. She has no idea who Elijah Moore is, so she is not here right now.
Is she a foosball fan?
No, she doesn't get. She likes
The opera?
kind of. She likes football, but she doesn't like. She likes football for one team, the Browns. She doesn't know Elijah Moore and the Jets. You know what I mean? Like that's where her football fandom ends. But that was an interesting thing right there. Okay, let's keep it going here. AFX Apocalypse, can you get a job at Chat Sports? We'll have to talk to the big bosses here. Next time we're hiring, let me know. I'll let you know. And then
He called
we'll,
you
send
Peter.
back.
Only I can call you Peter.
This is true. Exactly. Joe, no. My mom looks nothing like that picture of what looks to be like, I don't even know what kind
Yeah, I
of
can't tell.
ethnicity that is. Egyptian, sort of? Am I wrong? I don't know. I don't know.
Don't know.
Okay. Where was I going? I had a train of thought here for a second here.
No idea.
Yeah,
I'm just here.
I know. Browns, Elijah Moore, second round pick in exchange for a third. I won't be a broken record for you guys here. Try and think of some new, spicy takes and whatnot. Let's talk about what the rest of the Browns offseason looks like. I don't think there's a lot of free agency moves coming. In terms of trades, probably going to be 0 to maybe a low-level trade. Draft, 8 picks. We've got the Browns 8 picks. Let's throw them on screen here. Here's the crazy thing. I think if you polled your average NFL fan, you'd be like, oh, the Browns, they traded for Deshaun Watson, they have nothing. Dude, the screen's full.
It's a List 8 logo.
There's 8 picks. You've got 2/3, 2/4, and 2/5. Those are rounds with good players in them. If I'm ever an NFL GM, I am never picking in round 7 or 6. I'm bundling those picks to get to round 5 and hoping one of those guys work out. Because round 7 picks never work out. So, if you're Cleveland here, you've got 2/3, 2/4, and 2/5. Is that a great hand at the poker table? Probably not.
I don't think it's the losing hand, though.
But exactly that. I don't think that if you get that hand dealt to you, you're like, the dealer's winning. You know what I mean? You're like, I've got a chance. You know what it is? 2/3, 2/4, and 2/5. You got a pair of 8s.
Basically.
If the dealer's got a pair of face cards, you're screwed. But you're right there in the middle. And that's fine. That can get the job done. That can get the job done. We're at $610 in super chats now. The next milestone, $650. 600. We're $40 away. If we get to $640 in super chats, new thing, beer bong. That's what we're doing to celebrate
wild.
this. Beer bong. If we get to $640 in super chats, entire beer down the funnel. Joe has literally broken his back for this channel. If you've got any more juice left in you, we won't stop you. But if anyone else wants to chip in and help us get to that, $40 away from doing a beer bong for Elijah Moore being a Cleveland Brown. Let's go.
You are
All right,
Cleveland Brown.
Exactly. Harrison Bryant is gone. I loved Harrison Bryant. I just remember his touchdown against the Ravens in 2021. Remember when when Lamar threw 4 picks and they still won. Can't happen. Cannot happen. Deshaun Watson will not do that. That I can promise you. Mike Hall. Hey, Matt, you know the local number for the Uber company. Low key, bit of a Lyft guy lately. Cheaper.
Yeah,
I
usually.
kind of like Lyft. It's sneaking up on me.
I will drive Matthew home if he needs it.
Ronald, Elijah Moore is toxic in the locker room. I disagree.
How do we know that?
Thank you. No one from the Jets has said that. I think what it really came down to was the Jets drafted him in round 2. Go back in time, 2021. What do they do in round 1, Coop? They draft Zach Wilson. So what's kind of the natural progression then?
Receiver.
Give him something to work with. Oh, Elijah Moore from Ole Miss. He's good. First year, 5 touchdowns, 500-plus yards.
With a crappy quarterback.
That's a pretty good starting point right there. Year 2 rolls around. Well, now they find themselves not where they thought they would be after getting Zach Wilson. Garrett Wilson falls to their lap, and they're like, that's just a really good player.
What are
We
they
don't wanna
supposed to
pass
do?
on him.
Not take him?
Right. So now they're like, well, shoot. We just drafted Garrett Wilson. We paid Corey Davis a lot of money. Owners like to see their money spent well. So then Elijah Moore falls to wide receiver 3. And what has he done? Put 5 touchdowns and 500-plus yards up in his rookie year with no quarterback play. So then the offensive coordinator, Mike LaFleur, just relegates him. Puts him down to the Champions Division.
Championship.
Right? Championship.
You were close.
Yeah. And then it's like, well, if you're not going to find a role for me on this offense because this offense sucks and you overinvested in your quarterback,
I went out.
please trade me to somewhere that can use me well because I'm not just, a sitting duck that does nothing, right? I'm not Mims. Like, please use me or else trade me so that I can get paid in free agency. I don't blame him for that.
It's all about
really
the money.
don't. You get your rookie year, your rookie contract is the best chance you have of showcasing yourself to get paid in free agency.
Truth.
After your first free agency contract, you're likely not going to get any more after that. And Elijah Moore knows that. So I don't really blame him. Don't worry about it. Oh. Here we go. Togiai is gone. I hope so. Dude sucks. Him and Elliott are
We don't
not
like Togiai?
starting. No, Tommy Togiai
Oh,
from
fuck
Ohio
him.
State. Him and Jordan Elliott just not starting defensive tackles in the NFL. I
Jordan
appreciate
Elliott. Longhorn.
before Mizzou.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that actually. Okay. Was he good at Texas?
Nope.
That's probably why he transferred.
Yep.
All right. So if we don't get another super chat, we'll sign off because it's 6:10 Central, 6:16 Central.
You're going to
7.
Roadhouse.
I'm thinking between that or pizza.
I have pizza waiting.
Yeah. I don't want to hold up Coop forever. We'll put the clock back on. 2 minutes. And I think it's got to be a $10 super chat or more. $10 or more to keep the show going. Otherwise, we will retire. But hey, nevertheless, this has been an awesome show. This has been awesome. I love hanging out with you guys. We didn't get to do this a whole lot in free agency because they signed Dalvin Tomlinson at 11:30 Eastern. We got to do it for Juan Thornhill because that was a convenient time. But other than that, this is finally the first time where the Browns make a good move at a good time, and we get to really chop it up and go live. So let's go. That's what I'm talking about here.
Let's go.
Browns get Elijah Moore. I get checked into AA. This is a big show. That's what I'm talking about. Ty Man, every show is always a great show. Ty Man the Buckeye.
Appreciate you, Time Man.
Appreciate you. I love it. We got a whole bunch of great Browns fans in the chat right now. Timer's going. We're at a minute. 60 seconds away. If we get another $10 super chat, we'll keep the show going. Otherwise, we will sign off. Should I get Texas Roadhouse or pizza for dinner?
Texas Roadhouse was a feast, but it's a drive away.
It's a bit of a drive. That's kind of the issue. I could walk to pizza.
Not cutie pies.
No, cutie pie sucks.
Yeah, we're bad. It's out.
Yeah. Exactly. Browns, Elijah Moore. I just keep repeating it because
He's a
the more I
Cleveland Brown.
say it, the more I like it. You know what I mean? We were talking about Elijah Moore back in October. And now, this is all sorts of subtle, F you to everyone who's like, this is clickbait. The Browns are never going to trade for anyone. This is the NFL. Boom. It's right in front of you. It's right in front of you. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Thank you so much for everyone who tuned in. I'm going to try and compose myself. I had been screaming. I've been saying for a while, Elijah Moore is a sneaky good trade target.
Here he
Way
is.
cheaper than DeAndre Hopkins or Jerry Jeudy or Brandon Cooks. And here he is, baby. So the Browns land Elijah Moore. They didn't get Mecole Hardman. That's okay. Elijah Moore, I love it. I love him. Welcome to Cleveland. Shout out to everyone who tuned into today's show. Thank you so much for rocking and rolling with us here. Let's go Browns. Let's go Elijah Moore. I've definitely been overserved. That's fine. Browns. Woo.
Compose.
Wow.
Compose. Joe, you crazy bastard.
You are off the chains. The show goes on, baby.
The show goes on.
By the way, that is my pick. Well, I kind of thought it looked like a Navy hat right there. Joe, couple things. First and foremost, thank you for your service. 2, thank you for the super chats. 3, let me know what Browns player comp you want. We still roll with Clay Matthews. I think that was you. I can't remember. you've overserved me. This is not my fault anymore. But Joe. Now we're $50 away from $700.
Unreal.
If we get that point, I think we got to go ball out at some steakhouse with Coop.
Oh, we're going to Perry's?
I think it's Perry's.
Okay.
You in?
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'd have to go change.
Text Shay.
I'll text Shay.
Cannonball time for Joe. Whew. 138 people watching. This is what family's all about. We are just hanging out right now, talking about Elijah Moore coming to the Browns. I think I've said everything that I could possibly say about Elijah Moore. So if you're just tuning in, we're going to kind of deviate for a second. And let's just talk about the Browns 2023 as a whole. Like, it really just comes down to Kevin Stefanski getting it right. You know what I mean? If Kevin Stefanski can get this roster down, we are in, baby. Shay just texted me.
And?
Oh, she's still upset with you.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
That's okay.
You screwed. Yeah. What'd you text her?
I just said, PD said Perry's if we get to 700.
Herman!
Let's go, Herman.
Let's go, Herman Turrington. Cannonball! Cannonball coming! Can you pass it over, please?
Sure. Here you go.
Thank you. Oh, Shaylin tuning in here. I thought she'd like Perry's. She usually likes Perry's.
Yeah, it's okay. She's mad at me. That's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. We love Shaylin. Cheers to you, Herman. Oh, new profile picture. Cannonball. Cannonball coming.
Wonderful.
Woo! Let's go. Everyone spam Shay in the chat right now. Make her feel a little extra loved right now for the Browns report from the Dog Pound. Do me a solid. Spam Shaylin. Spam Shay. Her name's in the chat. S-H-A-E. Shay, he's kind of drunk. Yeah. No,
It's true.
He does not. It's not code for anything. It's simply walk the dog cruise. Okay, here we go. Shay. You guys are too good right now. You guys are too good to me and Shay. Let's go, Browns. Let's go. Let's go, Shaylin. Let's go, Browns. That's what I'm talking about. Elijah Moore, as a whole, Cleveland gets their, I don't know if it's number one guy as a wide receiver, but if it's not, it's a really good consolation prize. So I love it. Okay. I think we're going to sign off.
We're signing off?
We're signing off.
All right.
This has been lit.
It's been a great time.
It's been great here. Thank you so much for everyone tuning in, making us a part of the day here. I love my fans. Let's go, Browns. Appreciate you guys carving time out of your day to join us here for the live breaking news.
It was a great time.
This was great. Shout out to Coop. Shout out to Rolly. Shout out to everyone who super chatted. Joe, we'll have a player comp for you on tomorrow's show. But you know what? I want to end with this. A couple words. I can't count them exactly right now. But here they are. Elijah Moore. You, my friend, pull in closer, are a Cleveland Brown. And this is going to make for an awesome 2023 season. Let's go, Browns, baby. See you guys tomorrow.